Look at this. We're 5 minutes early.
What? Wait a minute. We're giving him more free content?
Look how cute that guy looks. I wasn't paying attention to the end.
What's that?
Well, yesterday when I when I came right as you were finishing, I'm like, "You're still painting?"
Oh, yeah.
I wasn't looking at the model.
Oh.
To see how much you did. Great.
Thank you. Coming along.
Howdy, hi to you, T. Schmidt.
What's going on, everybody? How are we doing on this lovely Therapy Thursday? It is Therapy Thursday, right? Anybody need any therapy?
I do.
I mean, you have to deal with me, so pretty much that's a given.
That's not even what I need therapy about.
That must be really bad then. A rough day for me.
James Syram enjoying his last day of work for this year. Well, rub it in.
Lucky bastard. I don't have enough days left to work this year to get all my stuff done is my biggest stressor. It's like, I need more days. I need 2023 to have an extra week added to the calendar. Make it so. Use it or lose it vacay time.
Yeah. Because everybody's reset in January, because that could be rough in December for your employer.
Yeah.
Seems like it would be a time when a lot of people would take vacation.
Exactly.
Your industry almost shuts down during this time. Oh wow, what's your industry? If you don't mind saying.
He works for that place that is only open on Halloween. Like, how many months of the year do you have to work if you work for the place that's only open on Halloween?
Yeah.
Like, do you start early because you gotta find all the
really,
suppliers?
what do they do the rest of the year?
You gotta find all the suppliers for the crap
right?
that you sell.
They find an empty storefront that's the right size.
Yeah.
And they just park themselves in it for a few months before Halloween, and that's it, right?
Mostly, yeah.
Like, isn't it called like Spirit Halloween?
Spirit Halloween, yeah. Some of them are always in the same place.
Yeah.
They actually are able
Like,
to
how does
afford
that
to pay
happen?
annual rent on 1 month's worth of sales. Which I find fairly crazy.
Yeah. Thank you for another great season. Our stores are closed for now, but our online store is always open. So they have an online store that you can shop all year, because sometimes you need a costume at another time of year besides Halloween.
Fireworks Warehouse alternate this building usage. Same company.
Gladiator, howdy.
Whoa.
The Spirit Halloween and the Fireworks Warehouse alternate building usage around T. Schmidt's neck of the woods. Fireworks in Arizona are sold at little like pop-up stands on the corner.
Yeah.
Like underneath a tent.
Wait, they were when I was growing up, right? That's what
really?
I used to. Now they're like big freaking factory outlets.
Well, I've only seen stuff like that when we've driven across country. Like when we drove to Adepticon, I feel like there were big fireworks places.
Yeah.
But fireworks are only allowed at certain times of the year here. So They're like Christmas tree stands.
And by
Which-
certain times of the year, she means like only Friday through Sunday, depending on what neighborhood you live in.
We where we live now, there are fewer fireworks stands, Christmas tree stands, pumpkin stands than in Gilbert when we lived there. Out in the
That's true.
suburbs, they were everywhere.
That's true.
And now I couldn't tell you where I could, if I wanted to go buy a live Christmas tree, I wouldn't know where to go. I would have to Google it. I'm on the map.
Not here.
Whereas at the old place, I could just drive down the street and I would see like 3 of them. Broken Chef, hello. We've both been busy. Oh, good.
Lots of job security here at Monument Hobbies. For the two of us.
Oh yeah, like for sure, Home Depot and stuff. No, I'm talking about like the and I don't know if this is something that happens in other places, but in Arizona, you'll see like an empty lot and they'll build a big tent.
Yeah.
And it'll be full of Christmas trees.
Yeah.
Like live Christmas trees. You can go and pick out a Christmas tree from the Christmas tree.
Yeah, they'd be
lot.
on all the empty lot corners at
Yeah.
traffic signals and stuff out east.
And when it's not Christmas time, if there's a something there, it's maybe a fireworks. But fireworks are only around, obviously around 4th of July.
People
and
selling
New
Indian
Year's,
blankets.
those are allowed, but they're sold again in a vacant lot under a tent. Oh, Baby Jay's on vacation. He's fine. He'll be gone for the rest of the year. You're not going to see him again until January. New Year's fireworks are awesome. Really? Agree to disagree.
When you have a dog, fireworks lose a little bit of their pizzazz. Feel bad for the dog getting all freaked out. But I don't have anything against fireworks. As a kid, I used to love them.
See, I mean, and that's the thing is that fireworks were not like you could not buy fireworks as an individual in Arizona until like 10 years ago.
Because of fire hazard
Yeah,
stuff?
because it's a desert. And
Because
so
everything's dry and flammable.
Exactly. So I never
Got exposed to
grew
real
up
fireworks.
with fireworks like that, like setting them off at home. None of my friends did that. I mean, I'm sure there were people who could get them. You can always find something if you want it. But it was never in my world.
Yeah, and of course in Texas, that was, just depending on how big a fireworks you wanted. If you had to drive to, Waxahachie to the big fireworks factory place to buy things larger than Roman candles, just depending on how crazy you wanted to get.
James Hiram caught my hairhead beanie on fire when I was like 10 when my brother threw a big pack of black cats up in the air. Never really was a massive fan of it after that. See, and now I know, but I didn't because I didn't grow up setting off fireworks. Now I know that when you say black cats, you don't mean the animal.
The other day when I said that, I was like, you don't know what black cat? Talking about tying black cats to cicadas and launching them up into the air and watching them and blow up. And she was like, she thought I was tying cicadas to actual
Cats.
Animal, like cat,
Yeah.
like your house cat.
Yeah. And I thought it was to torture the cat.
Yeah, no, it would have, but we weren't
Probably
quite
would've.
that mean, I guess. We hadn't gone quite that far in our let's destroy animals. Let's be mean to animals and bugs.
Well, and it wasn't until you did the
Yeah, that you
that
got
I
it.
understood.
Yeah.
Because I didn't when you said you would attach the cicadas to black cats, I didn't imagine because I didn't know what I thought actual cats. So I wasn't imagining anything blowing up until you made that
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
And then I was like, oh, these are not four-legged furry felines we're talking about.
And it was literally like we were all wrestling with the fact that you had to tie it. And then my buddy, I told you, he just found out that if you pinch the cicada's wings, their legs all get wide, and then you put the black cat, and they would literally hug it for dear life like it was a tree, because that's what they're kind of instinctually do.
Yeah.
And then you'd light the black cat and you'd let it go, and it would all the time holding on to its bomb.
Yeah.
And the bomb would go off. So then we didn't even have to tie it to him anymore.
Yeah, Punisher, again, didn't even think about that. I thought that for some reason the black cats were the ones that they liked to attach the cicadas to.
As long as you had a white or a tabby or something, you're fine.
I didn't even question that part of it.
Hairdo says, geez, that's terrible. You obviously didn't grow up in Texas and ever have to survive cicada season as a child. And this is what you did in the 70s, right? My parents bought me a bug hut. That's what it's called. Bug hut. B-U-G-H-U-T. Bug hut, right? It was a big dome, big plastic dome, probably the size of like a big spaghetti pot. And it had a plastic bottom that had it looked like a tennis racket. It had, holes popped in it, but it was solid plastic. And
my parents hugged me.
and you pop that onto the bottom, and then it had this big dome, and off of one side of the dome was like this round chimney thing that came up with a top on it. And you would take that and you'd stuff bugs down in it and put the top on. And then they'd go down into the terrarium section of it that had like plastic trees and stuff you could attach to the bottom. And they'd hang out in there, and you'd drop whatever you needed to drop in there. If you caught a spider, you drop crickets in there so you could eat the crickets or whatever. It was like, it's a bug hut. You do whatever you want. And you bought this at like Target. I don't remember. And so we would go around the neighborhood when cicadas would come in season. Did you hear them? They're noisy bastards. And you'd see their shell casings from where they would crawl up out of the ground and crawl up the trunk of the tree, and then they'd molt and come out like a butterfly, right? And so the carcass or the skin of the thing was this crazy little tyrannid looking thing hugging the tree. And up in the tree were all the cicadas, and they would turn brownish green and had triangular heads with the eyes on the corners, and the awful rubbing their wings together noise that they make that you just associate with Texas summer. And yeah, you just walk up to them and you'd grab it by its wings, you'd hand it a black cat and let it go. And they were already fat, sluggish flyers, like those big bumblebees, like the real hairy bumblebees that are like, brrr, you can hear them coming a mile away. And same with the cicadas. They just kind of, it was like a biplane that engine was failing. It would dip, pop, and just throw stuff all over the place. It was awesome.
Thank you for following, Jera. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
11, 12.
Oh, it goes to 1 after.
I carried it on. This is my childhood we're reliving here. Broken Chef, the blue highlight is so nice. This is Faded Ultramarine on there, actually. It's Faded Ultramarine over, what did I use first? I used Deep Sea Ben, and then blue, and then Faded Ultramarine. I haven't done any brush work over it. This is just the blue with the airbrushing for now. And then I'll go back and highlight it once I get all the other colors on.
No more Baby J.
We ate him.
Is Jason telling stories about how he should have been on a watch list growing up better or worse than telling about his lunches viewing adult toys?
Yes. No. Yeah. I don't know. What are you talking about? Why are you making me a bad guy? Why was blowing cicadas up with black cats a bad thing? You should have seen how we tortured the crawdads we caught.
Hilarious.
Huh?
I said the story about the lunch and the adult toys was hilarious.
I got a kick out of that
The
one.
first time I heard the cicada story, it was pretty funny too. I've heard it just like a whole bunch of times recently because of my whole black cat thing.
Yeah, Baby J quit for the rest of the year. He thinks he's getting hired January 2nd again, but
we'll see.
Mo, what's going on?
He only bought a return ticket like 2 days ago. So
yeah, that's crazy.
The fact that he wasn't confident.
He only had a one-way ticket for his Christmas trip. I don't understand this at all. I have to have a talk with that boy.
And then he's like, it was kind of expensive. I'm like, yeah, when you wait till the last minute at the holidays, it's going to be expensive.
Turns out. Got very little hands, Captain America.
Most people, I don't know if most people, some people, accurate.
What's that?
Bakamaro said, listen, I did it too, but most people who hurt small critters end up with a special investigative series made about them on Netflix.
I didn't like start fires and like dissect them and get all crazy about it. We literally caught bugs tied.
It's not
like,
the same.
Like firecracker to them, blew them up.
Definitely not the same.
I was nice to squirrels and neighborhood cats and dogs.
Here's the thing. Just
I love
like
animals. Bugs, on the other hand, bugs are fair game, dude. Except for bees. Bees have a purpose. Everything else just feeds spiders, so.
We can't hold things against people that they did when they were children. That's best Heridu. And James, I don't think it is. Not quite the same. We do have to control the insect population a bit, I think.
Somebody would have to strive really hard to convince me that cicadas are worth a damn thing. June bugs and cicadas. All they are is bird food. Period. Now, I get it. Birds need food. But they can pick through the carcasses after they've been blown up by firecrackers.
Makes it easier for them, I would think.
Birds are resourceful, makes digestion easier. Gives it a little bit of that grilled flavoring. Mesquite grilled, mesquite barbecued cicada because it's been blowed up. You're doing a favor.
Hey,
Y'all
somebody
hush.
likes us.
Y'all hush.
Thank you for that follow. Oof. Trying to even think of something in there that I can find. Kova, I see. Shashkova. Silisa. Thanks for the follow. We'll shorten that for sure.
Animals with skeletons have rights. Bugs, nah. Except praying mantises, they're cool. I mean, they're all cool. But they'd be cooler if they were hugging a black cat. It's funny because nowadays I'd be like, I'm not going to go touch that cicada. A nasty bug.
So yeah, so let's separate the fact that this was a child activity versus the adult Jason, who is kind. And, you know, I mean, if you saw him with Cora, you wouldn't be concerned that he's going to be killing animals or people. I feel like we need to find a new topic.
Jason straps kids to black cats? I mean, we can go with that. I don't have to. I just ask the kid, hey, kid, you want this? Hold it real tight.
What animals does Cora not like?
What animals does I think she likes everything. But her version of like.
Well, but like she seems like there's certain dogs where she seems curious, and then there are other dogs where she seems like, I don't like you. Based on just the fact that, you know, like when we're out, like the little dogs down the street from the old house, we could not walk by them.
Oh yeah, she goes nuts. She nearly
insane.
killed me that time.
Cats. She's never been around a cat since we've had her, other than the stray cats in the neighborhood. She barks at them. They taunt her.
They do taunt her. And that cat's not stray. That belongs to our neighbor.
No, that one does. The white,
white
one
one
does. But there are other cats that I've seen. Like
one of them laid that damn near human-sized turd in our yard, and that drove me nuts.
We had a black cat that was sitting on our roof one day when I was out there.
Oh, that's right.
that same one was under my car one day. So I forgot to tell you that we need to, like, you know, maybe slam the car doors really loud when we get inside so that if cats are sleeping underneath, they scare away and we run them over.
I mean,
But Cora doesn't like bugs. She likes to eat bugs and chase them.
she loves playing with bugs. She treats them like toys,
Yeah.
pats them around, finally eats them, and throws all her food
Well,
out.
her crickets. Yeah. So our old house, we would, at certain times of the year, we would have a, higher than normal volume of crickets in the house. And we could always tell when she found one because she would, like, skitter and, yeah, like, and then we'd have to run really fast. I'm like, don't eat it, because she would get it in her mouth and maybe swallow it without chewing, and it would, like, tickle her guts and.
Yeah, it's like bouncing around in her stomach,
Like,
and then
with
immediately
no
she'd just be like,
and you did, like, it was not the sound that wakes you up when a dog, like your dog's about to vomit. You hear that sound. None of that. It's just like you turn around and all of a sudden there's a massive pile of puke right there.
Yeah. Cats, they're not like hairballs with cats.
No, it's like
they're literally
she's
like,
eaten for
what?
the past 3 days. It's really bad. So yeah, we're like, don't eat it.
She'd just be like looking around, and you think she's sniffing the ground, and then, and it doesn't even. It just all comes out. It's just like pile.
Yeah, it's like there's no noise.
It looks like you threw one of those rubber joke vomit piles out.
It's crazy.
Oh, poor Cora. But it's our own damn fault. We warned her. We're like, you're gonna be hungry. You're gonna vomit out all your dinner.
I mean, if Mo said if you've got a cat dropping human-sized turds, it might be a cougar. There are foxes in our neighborhood.
Oh, that's true too.
So it could have been a fox, because she has been sniffing around a lot in the yard lately, like she hasn't been.
Yeah, so it could be one of those foxes,
Could have
actually.
been a fox. I don't think a coyote could have jumped over her. Or a grumpy neighbor. Could be the people down the street that reported us.
Well, we did see a definite human Easter egg on the corner walking the dog the other day.
Yeah, that looks like it could have been human.
That was human. That was homeless vagrant wandering through the neighborhood. This is a good spot.
Yeah. Broken Chef, your dog herds turkeys.
What's that?
Broken Chef's dog herds turkeys. Runs around him and everything.
Our dog is a turkey.
Yeah. JP said one of my dogs is so dumb he keeps trying to eat the toads and refuses to learn it makes his tummy hurt. Oh. She could catch the turkeys, but she doesn't.
I'm just using burnt red right now, by the way, guys. I started using burnt red before the stream started, but just burnt red over mahogany. The traditional red workup with Monument Hobbies.
Gotta say, I like dogs better than my wife's cat. Dog has never brought in birds, squirrels, or naked moles all alive. I mean, my dog Remy would bring in dead stuff. Brought a dead bird in my house.
I think that gifts from your pets should be looked at with pride and thankfulness.
Mm-hmm.
And you can yak later. Those cats, that's love and affection right there.
Yeah, they're proud of it. So I have this like massive aversion to birds. So the broom was not enough. I couldn't just sweep it out. Brought it in through the dog door, ran through the house with it, took it into an extra room, dropped it on the floor.
Oh, that's so good.
I will never forget this.
Was that at the old house?
Yeah, in
Oh,
Gilbert.
okay.
Well, it was Remy.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, Jen and birds don't get along.
I
I mean, the birds probably would get along with Jen.
no, they don't like me. That's why I don't like them. Thank you, Mo. I agree. At our old house, we had a big tree in the backyard that was full of birds. And one day I came home and there was a little teeny tiny baby bird with just like a little fluff and a beak that was just and it was making the saddest noise and it was on the ground and the dog ran straight up to it. I was like, no. Grabbed her, got her back in the house, and learned that there were. Well, I found another one,
A bunch.
and then I sent a message to both Jason and Carter. I'm like, I need somebody to come help me right now, because there are baby birds that have fallen out of the tree, and I don't know what to do with them. And
I was surprised you were worried about it. But I was like, are you more worried about the birds or about Cora getting the birds?
the Cora getting the birds,
Yeah.
was my concern. And Carter and William came over, and they just scooped up those little birds like it was nothing, put them in a box, and then we'll end the story there.
It didn't have a happy ending. If you're the birds, it did not have a happy.
Yeah. They're not real. Birds aren't real, but the government can hurt you with them. Gotta be Megalodon because the name is dark. Yep. Hello. People see the pirate with the bird on his shoulder and think that's awesome. What they don't see is the huge trail of bird poop going down the pirate's back.
The pirate's back, yeah.
Yep, Baby J is on vacation. Bird equals basic intelligence reconnaissance drone. I believe that.
No, you won't. Don't egg them on.
This is from Cool Mini or Not, JP Gray.
From that guy Megalodon Jaws.
From that guy Megalodon.
We gotta
up
blame
there
him.
in the chat.
Gotta blame Megalodon.
Birds do poop wherever they want. That is so.
Which isn't really a problem unless it's your head or they're a goose. And doubly so if it's a goose and it's your head.
Oh.
Because geese can lay like human-sized turds.
Yes, they can. That is one thing, though, I will say. A positive bird experience I had was not too long ago when I was sitting outside with the dog and I heard honking and I thought it was, we have these little, what do you call those? Like, I guess they're like little bicycle carts, right? That sell the candies and the chips and stuff like in the neighborhoods.
Like the old ice cream man style.
Kind of like ice cream, but they're bicycles and
Yeah.
they have like the squeezy bike horn.
Yeah.
And yeah. And so I heard that one day when I was sitting outside and I was like, oh, there's really close. I'm like, and it's like there's a whole squad of them. And then I realized that it was actually a flock of geese flying overhead, like in Arizona, which was weird. And that, the V, it was actually really, really cool to see it.
Geese are rude, man. They're mean bastards. They're territorial. They don't even live here. But if you come close to them, they'll chase you off.
Baka,
Mean-spirited bastards.
you've had geese like as pets? Baka said, having had geese for years, which were my favorite guard dogs.
Yeah, I was gonna say they're very territorial. I can see that.
They were so affectionate to us because we raised them. But hot damn, I knew when someone was coming to the house. Great for keeping salespeople away. They protected the chickens. Okay.
They're brutal. I've been chased by geese. It's no joke. In Pennsylvania, I worked for a place called Lutron Electronics in Coopersburg, and when I would have to go to the Coopersburg facility in the winter, there were always geese at some point in time as they head south from Canada. They'd come through Pennsylvania, and man, they would just flock to this parking lot at Lutron where you had to park your car, and so everybody's car were just pelted with these huge freaking geese turds. They're all over the sidewalk. And the geese would land out in the grass area, and if you had to park at the far end, because I didn't go to work there all the time, and so I'd get there and I'd have to park kind of at the distance rather than right up by the building, and you'd be walking, and they'd chase your ass. Like if they were too close to you, and you're like, I just sit in the car,
yeah,
until they were move along.
We when I was little, right before we
Horrible
moved to Arizona,
bastards.
the last place that my mom and I lived was this little a little townhouse, and it was right like. We open our back patio door, and there was this little grassy area and then a little man-made lake, and we had geese there all the time, and that's how I remember the poop part of it and the noise, but I don't remember them being mean or chasing people or anything. And then 7 or 8 years ago when I was traveling and I went to Idaho, it was wintertime, and I was walking around and I was in this little park area and there were geese everywhere. But they weren't mean or anything. They didn't chase me. I just took pictures of them. They were huge.
Yeah, they're not small birds either.
JP said at the University of Iowa, I convinced my roommate from Romania that swans loved to be pet. 6 face stitches later, our joke was not as funny.
You evil, evil man. Yeah, swans and geese are always depicted in kids animation.
Yeah, Mother
as being
Goose.
Majestically
She's sweet
kind.
and loving. The
Huh?
swan, Mother Goose.
Yeah.
Mother Goose is a mother. She's nurturing and loving, and then you have the
Lies.
The ugly duckling and the beautiful swan.
Lies. That was just some adult's very cruel joke on kids. I'll teach them. Here, geese are nice.
Oh.
Stop looking at me, swan. You get invaded by geese in Rhode Island? Yeah, I can imagine that. The whole East Coast. I don't remember ever seeing geese in New York, but I didn't go to Central Park very often. So I wonder if it was all they would migrate through Manhattan area to Central Park. I can't remember stories about that at all, but man, when I went to Pennsylvania, it was crazy. And I now that you said it, I think there was a man-made pond or lake on the property at Lutron, which was probably the main attraction for them. kind of lightly glazing. My paint is thin enough to allow me to filter with it after I've gotten most of it off the brush. So I'm kind of running at a consistency where when I touch the model the first time, I'm going to get a lot more of the burnt red. And then as we remove more material from the brush, it gets thinner and thinner. Less paint, and the brush is still pretty wet, so.
Are you going to paint any other of these?
Yeah, I'm going to do the villain in this. Every time I paint him, I'm going to paint a pair. I pulled pairs out of hero and villain. So for him, I've got Red Skull.
Oh.
So after we do Cap, I'll do Red Skull. We can have them face off. I forget which other ones I pulled. I pulled a bunch. I've got Spider-Man and maybe Doc Ock and Green Goblin. Don't think I took Mysterio. I think Jordan did. There are a couple of Spider-Mans. I took
Magneto. Is there one called?
He's got Magneto.
Okay,
he's painting. Yep.
Yeah.
But we all kind of rated it. I took my first picks. I have Old Man Logan that I'll paint. I don't have an enemy for him. I'm just going to paint Old Man Logan. And I think maybe a couple other X-Men ones. I don't remember everything I took. I think I have
my Deadpool.
I think I have Scarlet Witch and Vision and Ultron that I thought I'd paint up.
Ashmedai, are you talking about geese? My high school in North Texas had some that would stop by at a certain time of year because we had a man-made pond. Worst part was after the birds had chicks, the eggs that didn't make it smelled terrible. Yeah, that would not be good.
Yeah, I feel like at Denton, Jane. When I went to school in Denton at University of North Texas, that there were geese that came through there occasionally, but I don't have any memories specific about it.
Geese and ducks, chickens. Oof. That's terrible.
What's that?
Blitz. I remember here at the Navy base an OCS class getting carpet bombed from a swarm of Canadian geese when my drill team was. I assume that means the geese dropped
pooped on them.
Poop all over them.
They're like, guess who gets to poop today?
You guys. Bombs away.
Fireark, what's going on? Central Park for sure. I was not a big Central Park fan. It's a great place. Like a couple times I've been there, it's like there's lots of cool stuff. I don't care. It's a park, whatever. Where I lived in Brooklyn, we had a park like literally walk out of my building because I was right at the last stanchion of the Manhattan Bridge as it hit into Brooklyn, right where I was in Dumbo, and so the Brooklyn Bridge and the Manhattan Bridge come together and they almost hit. Right, they form a triangle in between them. It's called Dumbo, and we lived in Dumbo, and you could just walk down to the Brooklyn Park that was right there on the water, and it was a block away from my house. So I was like, I mean, it wasn't as cool as Central Park. It didn't have as many trees and stuff, but I thought it was cooler because you could sit in the park and you had the whole view of Manhattan.
Yeah,
it was just right across the river. You know, you were on the East River and you just had Manhattan, and you're downtown, and it was the perfect shot. Midtown to the right, downtown to the left. You know, the bridges going across. That was New York for me. And so sitting out in the park without the trees and everything, that was the park. Everybody was like, "You want to go to Central Park, hang out?" I'm like, why? I have this. Last night you took some Noosh and fluorescent purple and green to do some glowing armor. Awesome. How'd it go? I'm loving seeing everybody playing around with Noosh, coming up with new ideas and stuff. Excited to see how far people push it. What all they do. Well, I brought this in here just to geek out a little bit. I got my Fed Commander box set. The box was so tight in the slipcover, I had to actually do the unthinkable. I had to undo the slipcover. I did it so I didn't tear it. I can still glue it back, so all you purists out there don't get mad at me. I can put some double-sided tape on that. It'll be good as new. Or hot glue it or something. But my God, I couldn't get the box out. Anyway. So I got my Fed Commander. So for all of you that have been scared listening to me talk about the next journey I'm going down, this rabbit hole, I'm there. I have to wait. Next week, my ships show up, so we'll be painting some Starfleet, some Klingons, and some Federation. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You're not ready for me to nerd out with my Star Trek ships.
Fireark said, Jason, so my husband got Federation Commander, and he is now all for me getting a 3D printer, just so he can print the ships out.
Yeah, right? See? It's already starting.
Is there a place to get STL files for the ships?
So I will tell you this, I have not found good STL. There's a couple, but they're only for like individual ships. Like you can get the Enterprise A and some other versions, but they're not for scale for playing miniature games because the company that owns the rights and everything to do the miniatures just sells them on Shapeways anyway. They're pretty expensive, but I have not seen the STLs. I have to be honest with you. I looked all over the place to see. I didn't check the unlicensed type ones. I say that. I checked on the ones where you'd have to pay for the STL, like My Mini Factory and stuff, and I did some searches, and there weren't but like a couple, and they were not for gaming. I mean, they're still cool, and you could probably scale them and do everything, but they weren't for gaming miniatures. I think that because these games are so niche and there's such a minimal amount of people interested in them, that nobody out there who's sculpting is spending time to create them. And the ones who do probably get sought after very quickly because the only group of people who are looking to buy them are also the group of people that are tied in with the guys with the license. It's a very, how do you put it? It's a very familial feeling gaming group, even though it's spread out across the world. They all are in the same forum. I see the same people in every Facebook group. There's like 1,200 in this one, 900 in this one. It's a few thousand people that are paying attention to this publicly. And so I can guess that they'd probably come to the side of the company ADB that's actually producing stuff because they want to support. It's a very supportive community. So I feel like it might kind of frown on people with STLs.
And Gumby's sister has the tagline, new shit.
New shit, yeah,
Just new shit.
But yeah, it would definitely be cool. And like I ordered all of mine off of Shapeways, you know, and to get like one faction fleet is a couple $100. It's not cheap, but it's a lot of ships, right? You get like, you know, anywhere between 8 and 10 ships for that on Shapeways. So you wait for a Shapeways sale and find them there. But I have these too. I have the big ass Firestorm Armada ships. These things are monsters. That's my Dreadnought and my Battleship. I've found these. I've had these for years. And these were in a shoebox that I found when we were moving. So they're kind of janky miniatures, but they're all resin. But monstrosities. But the Enterprise ones are about this big. Which in relation to like the Gorgers, you know, they're big models. So I'm excited to get, because this in scale for like the Enterprise will probably be about the scale of the Constitution class cruisers. I think they're like 4 inches or just shy 4 inches. So they might be a little bit shorter than this. Right? But with the bigger saucer and all that. I'm excited. I don't think there's anything that's quite this big. This thing's like 6 inches long. So. But I mean, you can get ships like this and play FedCom. You can just tag it to some alien race and pick the ships. The nice thing is that other than Federation, Klingon, and Romulan, I feel like you could pretty much play anything you want. You know, and I know that's probably what people want to play, though. They know where their bread is buttered. I want to play Federation. So these don't do me any good. But they're still fun. And the same rules can be used without the names of ships and stuff, so you can do whatever you want. But like the Firestorm stuff was cool. That same race has got like little destroyers and frigates that are still, they're pretty good size. And they're much bigger than Cap here. But there's enough to do it, and they still would take a really good dry brushing. So a lot of these ships are really cool. The Star Trek ships don't have a lot of detail like that, right? I mean, they're detailed as well as a model should be, but those starships just didn't have a lot of stuff on them. They're very flat and angular. Panic Bomb. 35 streams. What? That's awesome. Chuck is being responsible and riding his bike downstairs. I'm in the studio cleaning. What's going on, Jade?
I need to be riding the bike after eating all those cookies you guys sent.
Oh my god, right? The Firestorm Armada is getting a re-release, you think? I think if you can get the ships inexpensive, which is getting harder, right? But if they re-release it and the ships become affordable again, stuff like that, if they keep the same scale, it's a neat scale because they have big, chunky ships, which I really like. The game I wasn't a fan of. So it'd be interesting to see what they do with the rules. Drop Fleet Commander was better, but it, again, kind of wasn't my speed. The A Call to Arms, Noble Armada, is the generic spaceflight rule set, and it's fantastic. You can buy that book for, I think it might be $20. It's a hardback book it's called A Call to Arms, Noble Armada. And there's also A Call to Arms Starfleet. And but they're all generally the same kind of rules engine, and they just change it to fit the IP, I guess. But the Noble Armada one is kind of generic, and it's got destroyers and cruisers and frigates, and I don't know if it has carriers and dreadnoughts. Maybe it has enough ship sizes, but it's miniatures agnostic pretty much. They sold miniatures for it, but it's pretty much miniatures agnostic and works at any scale. So if you want to play a space game with whatever ships you want, I would suggest that Call to Arms rule set. It's probably the best out there for feeling like a modern miniatures game. It's fast. It doesn't have a lot of crunchy parts to it. You can play very quickly. It's still got really cool mechanics like ramming and boarding and things like that. So it's fun. And then as you want more depth to rules, you can climb up through the ranks. But wouldn't it be awesome if somebody did a Battlestar, like Battlestar Galactica fleet game? I think there was one at one point, wasn't there? It feels like, but I like crunchy. Well, the box is in there for you, buddy. How crunchy do you want to get? Because we have Starfleet Battles, the crunchiest space game in the history of crunchy space games. So there you go. Yeah, One Page Rules is trying to make a game for... they must really hate GW, because they just made their space game, and it's basically like Battlefleet Gothic, Battlefleet Gothic is one of my... I love the space. I love the look of the ships in the GW universe, but Battlefleet Gothic is literally like one of my least favorite space games I had ever played. Because it's all about broadsides. It might as well be played like... You might as well play an old, ship of the line ocean faring ships game, because that's how they treated their movement. So it felt like people who loved historic games made a spaceship game. And I get that we're playing on a 2D surface with 3D models, but I really wish there was a bunch more dynamics to it. But the ships in Games Workshop's world are all broadside ship of the line made by people that love historic ship battle. They have big prow lances and stuff like that too, but it lost me with that. So, didn't they call the sci-fi game Grimdark? Grimdark Future, Baka. Yeah, exactly. I think they have a fantasy one now too. I don't know. Oh, I know they do, because Gabe and Chris did a video about it. What was I going to do? Brown. That's what I was going to do. Light Umber, to be exact. Blood and Plunder. So Firelock, we've been working with them. We hope to do something with them here in the new year. We've been working on it. And we have the Blood and Plunder here. It's a neat game. Gabe's supposed to be building the models, but he acts like he has work to do. Because we've got the two. I forget what size they are. Maybe they're. I forget what size ships we have. But we've got the 2-player starter set, basically, they sent us. And it looks super fun. I'm not really into pirates. Pirates as a genre of things never really, it's not like I go, oh my god, it has pirates, yay. But I'm not opposed to pirates. It's not like people that are afraid of clowns. I don't care. Like, I like Pirates of the Caribbean as a movie, but it didn't appeal to me because it was pirates. It was just a fun story. So, but Blood and Plunder looks cool. The models are pretty cool. They kind of have a generic, ship crew model sprue that you can put together, and they're pretty, like the wrist goes on the arm and things like that, so you can kind of repose them however you want, which is fun. Pirates smell like bird poop. What? Because of the bird on their shoulder? I mean, not all of them have a bird on their shoulder. Only the captain. That is funny.
I feel like people don't talk enough about how alarming it is that some birds can talk.
I think it's great. That was my whole thing. I've told you about the rabbit hole I went down with the crows, right? The woman that she trained, what are they called? Not all of them are crows. Ravens? There's a raven, type of raven that has a white collar. It's like a preacher crow, they call it. But I think it's actually a raven. But it has a white collar like a preacher would, and they're super smart. And so back when I wanted a bird, I think my mom found out about this lady. She lived in Colorado, and she raised them and sold them off to people as pets, like somebody would raise dogs. And she had a VHS back in the day when you had VHS, and she recorded. She sent a promo VHS if you're out of state. So she sent me the VHS and everything. You watch this; it was amazing. This woman drove an old CJ7 Jeep and had these birds, and her bird, the video showed them with their hand quarter, filming her coming out of the house, and the bird comes walking behind her, and she goes and gets in the Jeep, and the bird flies up and gets on the crossbar of the Jeep, no top, right? And they start driving, and it shows filming them, and the bird would just sit there with its wings out on the Jeep, and then it would just take off, whoo, and then she'd land at the grocery store, and it would whoo, come landing back in on the Jeep, and it would jump up on her shoulder or whatever, and she'd get the shopping cart, and it'd sit on the crossbar of the shopping cart where the child was supposed to sit, talking and yapping at her the whole time. It was just so it got me. It sold me. I was like, I want one of these. So I started getting all the information about it and all that. They are super smart. They literally they talk with the best of the birds out there, but they're also super smart. You have to feed them dog food. Like, you can't feed those because they're carnivores. They're like vultures. Like, they have to eat meat. So you feed them dog kibble and meat, like raw meat. She would go and buy the rats and the stuff, like she had a snake, and she had an aviary outside, so the bird could live outside in this big like chicken wire thing on the side of her house. And she would throw the mice in there, the freeze-dried mice, or every now and then they get a live one and they freaking eat the mice and stuff. It was crazy. I was like, I'm sold, because I literally was going to train it to just be like Tony Bag of Donuts. You come in and be like, what you looking at? I was just going to teach you stuff like that, just so it could be like this total gangster bird. Of course, this is back when like The Sopranos was big. And they're huge birds, by the way. They're like vultures. Like, the thing was like, I don't know, it was like, before you got to its tail, it was like 18 inches. It was a big bird. Like macaws. You had a bird that would play peekaboo. She would run at the bottom of her cage and duck her head down and then pop up and say peekaboo. That's awesome. Birds are cool, man. I mean, I get that birds in the wild are unpredictable. But birds in a cage are cool. My mom's had birds forever. They're annoying as hell though. At the time when they won't shut up. But I mean, you know, she goes in there and she puts a blanket over their cage and they shut the hell up. They're just immediately off switch. They go to sleep as soon as there's a blanket on their cage. The stories of people training wild corvids to bring them money for treats. That wasn't on the video, but oh, Baka. When people see raptor-sized birds, like big, huge hawks, and especially like bald eagles, and they see like that wingspan, or like vultures. Some vultures are immense. So I can bet. I've told the story on stream a bunch about the neighbors I had in Colorado and the hawk that would come and take their dog. They lost 2 dogs. One I saw, the other one I just heard about. They had little yip dogs. They lost 2. Then they moved. They let their little yip dog play outside in the yard, and they had like an acre yard, and the bird just came and picked it up and took it up and dropped it, and then went and scooped it up and flew away. I guess they drop them to kill them. I don't know. You don't get a streak because you're on mobile. Are you logged in on mobile, or is it just an app that you can go and use without being logged in? You have to be logged in to get any of that stuff from Twitch, right? It can't track you if you don't have your info associated with what you're doing. I've noticed that any mobile app I've ever tried to use doesn't keep me logged in. Like Discord. It's the most annoying thing on the planet when you try to use it on your phone. Oh, I didn't ask Jacob if he went and found Malort last night.
Oh.
Right? I think he said he was going to try to find it and go try it. I'm betting no. If you think it's a crow, it's a grackle. If you think it's a raven, it's a crow. If you think it's a small predatory wild cat, it's a raven. Yeah. In Texas growing up, lots of grackles, smaller birds. And then crows get bigger, right? And then ravens are ridiculous. After painting, first of all, we need a crow or an owl. Cora, do okay with an owl, friend?
Oh, you're talking about a real pet? Yeah, no, we're not getting any of that.
I'm like over there, I'm like, wow, Jen didn't say no immediately. This might have a chance. Oh, yeah. Yeah, grackles in Texas, man. They are loud. That can be true of any bird, right? Get enough of them together. Act like they own the joint.
I learned today that Jacob likes musicals. Surprising. And Shelby does not.
And Shelby does not. I heard that all wrong when they were telling me.
Yeah, I know.
I thought he said that Shelby liked musicals.
Yeah, no.
And she does not. And then he was trying to tell her to go watch a musical, and she got mad at him.
Like, no,
and I was like, this doesn't make sense to me. If you like musicals, why? And she goes, I hate them. And I high-fived her. I hate musicals. Whoever invented the musicals.
She hates them.
I hate them too. Right there with you. People don't just break out in flash mobs.
They might. I said that. I'm like, maybe we just need to change our attitude about things around here and just sing along. As I told her, I'm like, you could be singing about your brush checking. She didn't seem interested in that.
Well, now, I did walk by her while she was checking brushes today, and she was singing.
Oh.
Well,
but she's not in a movie.
So she's not in a movie.
She was just singing along.
Right.
That's a good question, T. Schmidt. What about Disney movies, Shelby?
Shelby, this is your chance for you and I to remain friends forever. Think hard about your answer.
You like some baka, but your wife is super crazy. I think that there are people who definitely are like musical people. I have no aversion toward them whatsoever.
It's why I can't go see plays very often. Why I can't stand plays.
Right.
They tried to make me go see Cats. That was the worst experience of my life.
Oh, yeah. That one, we talked about
I've
that
been
a
in
little bit
fights
too.
that I felt better after than when I went to see Cats.
Well, Cats I don't think is the one to... But like Wicked was amazing. So good. The talkie singing. That I get. The talkie singing part is kind of annoying. Millimeter Matt, this is Marvel United.
Game by Cool Mini or Not.
By Cool Mini or Not.
Which Megalodon's in here. Hey, Megalodon, how did your teaching games part go yesterday? Have a lot of fun?
Megalodon said, I want to see a play of Percival fighting Baby J in a steel cage.
No, I just want to see the play that winds up with Percival on top of this pile of bodies. Right?
See, that's a musical.
That would be a good musical.
That would be a musical. You could write all the songs.
Okay, now I would do a good musical. Yeah. I still wouldn't go see it. But I would have fun writing it. They'd be like, have you ever seen your play? No. Why? I hate plays.
He said he had fun, left 7 games for them to play.
Awesome.
Said, hopefully they enjoyed it.
Awesome.
Game Delay said, gave my non-nerd boss a diorama of with a skier in a snowy southern Utah setting. Nobody knows that the minis are from a Cthulhu-themed set.
Oh, awesome. Like the Death May Die stuff? Megalodon sent us a bunch of that. We have that 8-foot-tall Cthulhu. Which, by the way, Megalodon, the huge Cthulhu model that you sent is like in our entryway.
It is.
To the store. Or to the building, technically.
Like Rocky Horror Picture Show or Little Shop of Horrors, Devil's Carnival, or Repo. Oh, the last 2. How do you feel about Rocky Horror Picture Show?
Awful. I mean, I love it and I hate it. Okay. Rocky Horror is one of those things.
That one's an event. I mean, that's not one you
that's the
just
thing,
turn
right?
on to.
I still don't like the singy stuff.
Yeah.
You know, but that's really what makes it. Mm-hmm. It's also just so kitschy, right?
Yeah.
It's B-movie play kind of thing. But like Little Shop of Horrors, man, I want to like it and I just can't. I don't like it. It's like, we talked about it. What they were talking about was Shelby and Jacob was the now I can't remember what it's called. The barbershop killer guy, Johnny Depp.
Sweeney Todd.
Sweeney Todd. Yeah, the Ballad of Sweeney Todd or whatever it's called. And again, I went in and they pulled a prank on me. Nobody told me it was a musical.
Oh, the Rocky Horror Picture Show still.
My friends didn't tell me that it was a musical, and we got in there and I nearly killed everybody. I think they had more fun laughing at the fact that how distraught I was that I got roped into sitting for Sweeney Todd. And I didn't drive, which made it worse. I couldn't leave. This was the days before Uber. I was like, damn it, I'm stuck. So I watched it. And, again, I think the thing that frustrates me most about stuff like Sweeney Todd and Little Shop of Horrors is that the story, I would really like to enjoy a movie with that story. Mm-hmm. But you screwed it up and you had people sing and dance.
Yeah. Thank you for the follow, E Street 8 Kuzmina.
Thank you for the follow. I mean, you realize I don't sit here and say no singing, no dancing just for the fun of it. It hurts my soul.
Go watch the Wicked movie.
The what?
Wicked. They're making a movie of Wicked.
Oh, Wicked. Yeah. Oh, I saw that, I think, that there was a movie coming out. Is it going to be singy dancy?
Yeah, it's a musical. It's Wicked.
But they could tell the story without singy dancy. I mean, they do it the other way. They steal good movies that don't have singy dancy and turn them into singy dancy.
The original Hairspray was not a musical.
I know. I'm saying.
Mean
so
Girls,
can't we do it the other way?
They've made Mean Girls into a Broadway musical.
It's coming out with another movie. Like, tell me about a movie that doesn't need to be remade. Mean Girls? But they're remaking it, right?
They're making it into a musical. Well, it's already a stage musical, like a Broadway musical.
But they're making another movie of it.
I think they're making a movie of the musical.
Oh. It has a lot of the Saturday Night Live people in it.
Well, so they were in the original. So Tina Fey...
Now she's old.
...wrote Mean Girls.
Right, but now she's old and they're doing another one. I saw a commercial for it. Look it up. No singing, no dancing from a former music studio and designer. Curious. I mean, we didn't break out in song and dance in the studio.
The 2024 Mean Girls film is based on the music.
How can it be based on the musical if the musical is based on Mean Girls? Makes no sense. Did they change the story in the musical?
No, I don't think so. They just added music.
Oh, no. Not the type of studio... You can't dance anyway, dude, so shush. I can arm dance. Nobody puts JP Gray in the corner. I just did. Jay, do you have a usable studio? What do you mean? Oh, because you
She
were
was
cleaning it? No, we haven't been seeing Tim. Tim moved,
Mm-hmm.
but he said he's setting up his paint studio again.
Oh, good.
That's always a bummer when you're.
With the eye patch, how they had it. It was left. And did you say? I think it was you that said they had to take it out to fix it.
Yeah.
Oh, this was your sewing studio that you were at. Awesome. Sew, do your nails, leatherwork, wood burn, do anything. It's a lot for a small space.
I'm
That
gonna
all
need a
sounds like
sweater.
fun stuff in there, though.
I'm gonna need a sweater, Jade.
Sewing and knitting are not the same.
Oh, yeah, they are. As far as I'm concerned, same thing. I need a sweater.
See? That's knitting. Never good at knitting. I can make a scarf. I mean, I probably couldn't now. But like 10 years ago when I learned,
Schlebby,
that's
make
as
me a
far as I
sweater.
could get was making a scarf.
I know she's peeking in here. Schlebby, make me a sweater. I'll protect you from musicals.
I think she crochets. Shelby, do you knit and crochet, or are you just crocheting your little adorable? Yeah, she doesn't know how to knit. She knows how to crochet.
Oh, these people!
Crocheting and knitting are not the same either.
What the heck? I'm learning so much horrible things today. I had my hopes up.
I want to learn how to make it. So there's these big, fluffy blankets that you just you use your hands. You don't have to use any knitting needles. You just get these big skeins of yarn that's like fat and soft, and then you just can make it with your hands.
Oh, really?
And make a whole blanket.
I think I saw something like this.
I want to do that.
It's the same thing, you just don't use the needle,
Right.
but it's in bigger loops, right? So it winds up
Yes.
being like a bigger scale pattern to it, too.
Yep.
I think I've seen this.
Yeah, I want to do that. And I mean, I think you can just watch a YouTube video and learn how to do it. I think it's pretty easy. You made one of those, Shelby? Was it super easy? Did you watch a YouTube video? I want to do that. Nick Pie can crochet you a sweater.
Nick, my hero. All I want is a damn sweater.
Yeah, no, knitting and crocheting are not the
Chuck says she could do a great 16th century nobleman's outfit. I mean, maybe I've changed my mind. Explain this 16th century nobleman's outfit.
She said, I typically make 16th century Elizabethan court gowns and suits. I'm moving into modern formal wear.
Does it come with a sword? Because I could be swayed away from a sweater if I instead get a 16th century nobleman's outfit with a sword.
Game Delay does artisan sourdough and will bake you a sweater. I've seen those loaves of bread in shapes, and like you can make one that looks like a sweater and like cut the design into it and it'll crust up. And
Jade says I can include it on the quote. I'll send you Pokemon cards I pulled from plastic yourself. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I have some Pokemon cards. I enjoyed playing Pokemans for the few times that I did it, until I was told that Pokemans don't get killed and they are not called Pokemans. They're very rude to me. They said they're Pokemon and they get knocked out.
yeah. No
And I said they're Pokemans and I killed yours.
No killing in Pokemon.
I'm about to kill your Pokemans.
Like, well, there's killing
with my
Pokemans.
Pokemans. You love how all the nerds are creative outside of painting too? Not me. I do one thing and one thing only. Gumby says, Schlebby says, I suddenly have a need for a 16th century gown. She'll write you a quote. I'm interested now to know what something like that costs, because if it's like handmade, that's got to be a pretty big ticket item, right?
Yeah.
Like you get like a really cool uh Ren Fair type
Brendan
outfit
used
that you
to
could
do all
wear
that.
over and
He
over
would
and over
get-
again.
He would get Ren Fair costumes made.
Like I would want one
Like
with big
leather
ruffly.
and-
I would want one with big ruffly cuffs that stick out of the coat sleeves. Oh my
like a puffy shirt.
god, that would be rad.
Like the puffy shirt from Seinfeld.
Fine, all chat is creative. I can work with metal. That count? I can't knit. I can cook okay, but don't tell Jen. You were a costumer for the local fair and part of the cast. That's awesome.
Oh, fun.
Oh, you send Jen a pic. I want to see. But I don't want to be a pirate. Yeah, also, I want the
Metalwork
ruffly
is
sleeves coming out of the
absolutely
coat, but I don't like pirates. So we got to find a common ground here, somewhere in the middle. I'm lying, JP. Or Slayer Street. I do all sorts of stuff. Well, I can do all sorts of stuff. I really just paint miniatures because that's all I have time for. And pet dog belly.
You could weld yourself a sweater.
Hey, nobody needs that kind of negativity in their life.
Get a good cod piece. Needs a cod piece.
This Mechanic Games, finishing up your last job of the day, going to listen in to the stream. Awesome, welcome. Get a cod piece, needs a cod piece. Every good costume needs a cod piece. What are you talking about? I missed with the bright neutral gray on the back of the arm there. You gotta fix that. This is the color we're using for what you see as white on him right now. Just bright neutral gray.
Top left has some spots, it looks like.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't, oh, here. That's where I did it yesterday. The biggest problem I'm having lately with painting has nothing to do with the model or the painting. It has to do with where did I put the paint? Because one of the biggest issues with our newest line of paints with the signature sets is that the satin and the gloss look wet on the palette, and so I immediately go to the shiny spots, but none of them are the color I'm using.
Oh.
They're all dried gloss. Like that's the dark crimson, right?
Like, yeah, no, I know that's the time. He's gonna show up at like.
Yeah, well, our normal guy's on vacation.
Oh, he did.
Yeah. So I wouldn't bet on it.
I just came to bring bad news to Jen. Sorry, guys. Being a bummer.
Being a bummer. Damn you, Phil.
Punisher just said, is anyone else irrationally angry that there is apparently a difference between knitting and crocheting, and 10 seconds worth of Googling it doesn't make it any clearer why?
I am.
I can tell you.
I just wanted a sweater.
I can tell you the basics. In knitting, you have two needles that are pointy, right? And you need both needles. Crochet uses a smaller hook, and you use your hook to like make a loop and hook and grab it. So you only need one. The stitches are different. Knitting has a variety of stitches. Crocheting has probably fewer if it does have multiple. And then, yeah, crochet has a lot more stitches, and you can continue them, right? Like knitting, you have to, if you're knitting a blanket, it's harder to go back and forth, I think. So you have to do pieces and then attach them together. They do both use yarn, though. I can say that.
See, for men, it's like, wait. Like, I mean, they're literally the same thing. As a man, I would legit just grab like the crochet needle and just make whatever I was supposed to make with the knitting stuff.
Well,
and it would not be good.
there's no such thing
I
as a
would
crochet needle. It's a hook.
Whatever. The thing.
This sounds like info on something I will never use. Crocheting is a lot more forgiving in terms of if the yarn slips off your tool by accident. Oh yeah, because in knitting, that's another good thing to point out is that in knitting, all of the stitches live on the needle.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then you have to get them off.
Oh, yeah, because you're doing this, and
yeah,
then you got
and
you
it
got to.
builds it onto the needle, and then you have to like knit them off.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah.
That process.
So yeah, if you mess up one in that whole line, it's tough to fix it. Whereas crocheting is one at a time, I think. Well, it is 2023, and the machines can do it for you.
Robots. That takes the fun out of it, though, JP.
I don't think you can do a crochet style stitch with knitting needle.
Who's this?
Fun fact about that.
Okay, tell us your
Oh
fun
my
fact.
gosh.
Oh my gosh, this is exciting. I'll stand on my tippy toes. So, with crocheting.
Wait. Were you sitting back there going, I know this?
Yes, I
Okay.
do. Okay, so
We can hear you from
crocheting,
running.
there's actually no machine that can replicate the stitches of crocheting.
Oh.
But knitting, there are knitting machines.
Yes.
So, it kind of makes it sad though when you see like crochet stuff in like Target or places like that.
Because you know that they
because you
have
know that
people
people
in
actually
factories.
made it.
Oh,
And
yeah.
you've seen how long it takes me to do
Yeah.
my stuff. So
So we're
that's-
talking like
That's my fun fact.
Yeah.
Ah.
Like
I love this look of pride that
Yeah.
Shelby just ran into the room with. That was awesome.
I ran so fast.
Say bye, Shelby.
we all have our things that yes we know around here. Like we have experts on a variety of things. Shelby is our crochet expert.
She crochets these little, right now she's doing these little like troll things.
Yeah.
Elves, trolls, something. He's looking good. He's looking pretty good. Now I need a color to highlight my leather. I'm going to finish the leather off. What do we want to use? I could use, I kind of want a yellowish color. So I could use like dark warm flash mixed with the light umber. I could use just golden brown mixed with the leather. That's probably the better thing. Let's keep it more yellowy.
Game Delay, are you having
Golden brown.
an internal struggle with this?
I am Game Delete. Don't feel alone. I just have gone past it already. Learn to crochet. You're AI proof at that point. Because the AI is going to realize very early on that it still needs all the people that can crochet for sure. You're safe.
I guess, yeah, you look at that word and it could be crochet.
English is so funny.
I would have looked at it and be like, crosh?
Crosh? He tried
Yeah.
real hard. Even though 50 people before you have already typed it. Ding-a-ling.
JP's like, why are all these people talking about crotchet?
Crotches. It's. I can't spell. It's well established. As he
What's a
continues to
crotchet
spell
stitch?
every word correctly, other than crotchet. So I get that kind of color, light umber and golden brown. And here I'll start putting a little bit of texture in the leather. I didn't really do a lot of texturing with the light umber, but I'll do it here.
I sounded it out. It had a red line under it, said no replacement word found. I pushed send. Like, oh well.
If my AI overlords don't know.
When can we expect Pro Acryl yarn in all of our favorite colors?
That might be our next venture.
Schlebby.
That might be our next venture. Shelby seems pretty excited about it.
Yeah, it's separate division of Monument Hobbies.
We implement a wish box here. Employees and their favorite things.
The differences between cross stitch and needlepoint. Cross stitches uses X's. Needlepoint, you have to be more precise. Make yarn with longer open time so I can use it more easily in dry Utah.
The glazing technique is really rough.
Dinner time. See you tomorrow. Have a good dinner. Thanks for hanging out. Isn't yarn work a hobby? Yeah.
With our name, technically we can make anything.
I mean, the people on the phone sure think that we have information about trains.
Trains,
Yeah.
RC cars.
Yep. Some guy got mad at me because I didn't know where he could get an F1 model. I'm sorry. I don't know.
You call yourselves
You
a
can
hobby
Google
store?
it as easily as I can.
You call yourselves a hobby store?
He said, if we start selling yarn, I will make a strong case for why I should be able to crochet at work.
You already do. What are you talking about?
Yes, but now she'll have a reason to. It could be work related.
Oh, it won't just happen on lunch.
Right.
I see. Don't get your hopes up.
Game Delay, yeah, on the clock. Game Delay delivers Meals on Wheels on Thursdays, and they're not supposed to accept gifts from clients, but when the third lady on his route handed him a bag of pistachios, saying no would cause more hurt than good.
You know, sometimes you just have to take one for the team there, buddy.
Yeah.
Hey, somebody
But-
likes us.
I still was nervous giving the mail carrier a gift
Yeah.
because they're not supposed to get gifts.
You told me that they could get it up to like $20.
Yeah. Crotcheteer. Oh, we could come crochet in the comfy chairs. I tried cross stitching on stream once, and it wasn't the easiest thing. Staying on camera.
That was definitely the right color choice for the leather. Golden brown, light umber makes a good combo.
I love cross stitch, but I've done it in so long.
Oh, it's been a long time.
A long time.
We have some really fun stuff around the house that she's done.
Well,
Got
I
a cool
brought
one in
them-
her
They're in
office.
my office now.
Well, mine Are
Here.
You Pooping is still at the house.
Huh?
My Are You Pooping or Have Fun
Well,
Pooping.
yeah. Have a nice poop. And our Christmas one is there somewhere, but I don't know where. So it's not being put out.
You gotta tell them about your amazing Christmas gift.
My amazing Christmas gift that you gave me. Jason gave me yesterday because it's a Christmas gift, but he gave it to me yesterday because it's Jason.
I'm bad about that.
and It's so a couple, I think it was 2 Christmases ago, he gave me a custom, like personalized coffee mug, like a thermal metal coffee mug. And it had, it was when I was in yoga school. And so it had a girl like meditating. You could, I think it was just maybe shown from the back, like the back of her head. And it had said Gentastic on it. And then it said like, I'm not sugar and spice and everything nice. I'm sage and hood and wish an MF or wood.
Yeah.
Something like that. And so from the same place this year, it's like a joint thing. It's for both of us, and it's a little wooden heart, and it's got a couple sitting, and you can see their backs. And it's, what does it say? It's, you're the
Of all the weird things I found on the internet, you're my
online.
favorite
Yeah,
by
you're
far.
the best one, or something like that. Yeah.
Because we met on an online dating site
Yes.
9 years ago. I got a kick out
Joint
of that.
co, like both of us. It was very cute.
Of all the weird things I found on the internet, you're my favorite by far. Ben's a keeper.
You and Jade are still sitting on the Christmas go bags, Chuck. That is impressive.
You guys are insane.
You have held out for a long time.
Insane. I don't do gift giving that way. I'm always worried that if I wait, they'll buy it themselves. So I gotta go give it. Not that she'd ever bought that thing.
I
by
wouldn't have
herself,
thought that. Yeah. Wouldn't have thought about that. Any updates on a New Year's stream?
No. I don't think Jordan will be here.
Jordan won't be here.
He was the one that was driving it. And then he left. It'll be up to me.
Just, oh. James Lee said, just finished a work party lunch. One of my coworkers is not having the experience with online dating the two of you had. Well, it took a long time. I mean, I shouldn't say that. It took a while. We were both ready to, like,
Throw in
quit.
the towel.
We were both about done. And it was like, we both kind of opened up
Well,
one
it was
day
the end
and
of
like,
January. It was the end of January.
Yeah.
Like middle of January or something like
Yeah.
that when we first contacted. And
Yeah.
obviously the subscription would have been up at the end of the month, I
Yeah.
think. And it was the time that it needed to renew when her message came through. And so I think I let it renew because it was like weird timing or whatever.
Yeah, it was like a 3-month or 6-month or
Something like that, right? But yeah, so.
Millimeter, it wasn't kept secret. It was just something that he wasn't doing at that time in his life when we met. He was more into video games, so I knew about that immediately. The miniature stuff was like a year and a half in.
Well, yeah, because I mean, I was painting and had the painting stuff set up in my studio over there off of 31st Street, but I didn't do it on the stream, right?
Oh, I
So
didn't-
my painting and
know
my
that.
drawing stuff were there, but when we packed up and moved to the new place, I never unpacked it at the new place, which is kind of around the time when you and I were really hanging out more, right? When I moved over by the airport.
I didn't know any of that. I didn't know any of it until you came back from your mom's.
Yeah.
Phil, aren't you gone?
Phil never
You're on
leaves.
vacation that time too.
He's probably in town. He's staycationing.
All right, well, I have to go, apparently, take things to the post office. So,
Who's producing? Jabe.
Gabe, have time?
Hey, Jabe, if the answer is yes, could you bring me a water? Like one of those Pellegrinos?
Oh, he's coming. And one of these. No, he said.
Oh, okay, thanks.
All right,
Appreciate it.
I'm going to turn this camera off, and when it comes back on, you might see a Jabe. Bye, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow.
How I get treated around here, chat. Oh. Oh, you're not coming back. Okay. I don't think so. I might stream a little bit long, but not too long. So. Game delay, you hush. You hush. Okay, Jen's pretty cool.
Here you go.
Oh.
Water delivery.
Turns out Gabe's pretty cool too.
Bubbly
Thank you,
water.
Sir. Thank you, sir.
Icy water.
Oh, I like that. Could I get some spicy water?
It's an internet meme.
It is?
Yeah.
Oh, then I don't want
Spicy water.
I don't want spicy water then. What does it mean?
Spicy water. It's like sparkling water.
Oh.
Why is it spicy? You know?
Will Gabe give me a kiss too? He probably would. That's the bad thing.
Don't tempt me.
See? That's why the producer's desk is over there.
They can't see how far away it is.
Way over there. Like 20 feet.
You see my hand? I'm reaching.
And no.
You're not going to be able to see my hand. It's too
And
far.
no, you can't see his hand.
It's too far.
Make a note, Gabe, to get us a better producer's chair.
Yes.
Jen says she won't do it.
Make
She
a
says,
note.
I never think about it. It's not important enough. And I'm like, but the whole time you're here, you hate it.
I sent her, because the chair sucks or the wheels suck.
Yes.
Great. Oh, I'll get a good chair. Exactly, game delay.
He and Gabe would be able to high five, but Jason is clear on the other end of the stream banner. They can't high five. Gabe's 20 feet away from me.
I've got long arms.
He's not that long armed. Studio's pretty big.
It is very big.
Not huge, but
I can reach a potential second part of the studio. Hmm. I am like Gumby. Got long limbs. I used to be a lot skinnier too, so I looked like
lankier.
I was lanky. I'm still pretty lanky, but it was worse. I'm looking at the stream, and Jordan's seat is right by the producer window. You can't fool me.
Okay,
Internet
yeah,
is
true.
real. Yeah. That would be crazy if I reached out this way and my hand showed
Yeah, like
up.
to the right of your head there.
That's looking mighty fine, Jason.
Sir?
Does painting the miniature make you want to play the game?
No.
No?
In this case, no. Sometimes it does. I'm not a big board game fan.
Mm-hmm.
And this is more of a board game, right?
Yep.
So I don't know. I would love to sit down and play it. The painting the miniature doesn't make me want to play it.
Mm. That's fair.
I'm very particular. It's like I told you at lunch. I'm not really a huge gamer.
Right.
It's been a hard realization getting to that point in my life where I'm okay saying that, because for so long I streamed video games, you know, and I had fun, but I'm not the kind of guy that finds myself out there trying every new game. I prejudge them. I look at it and I go, nope, not my kind of game.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So I'm not a very good gamer when it comes to that.
I do that too. I think my criteria is a lot wider.
Oh, yeah. I think everybody prejudges a little bit,
Right.
right? You look at something and you know whether or not, right off the bat, whether it's something you're interested in.
Mm-hmm.
I know you like fantasy more than sci-fi,
Yes.
right? So I know you're predisposed to not gravitate towards sci-fi like I would. But I'm not a gamer. I'm not a guy like if somebody were to call up and say, "Hey, you want to go to Snakes and Lattes and play games tonight?" A lot of people get all excited about that.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
Oh yeah, that'd be great. I'm like, I'll
so
go
in.
eat, but I don't give a damn about the games.
I'll
I'll go hang out and be social because I like that part. I don't care about the games.
But Snakes and Lattes has so many new games to try. You could try so many new games.
You're missing the point, Gabe.
I tried one when I went last time, and it was super fun. It was pretty easy to play, but it was like complicated enough to be still enjoyable no matter how many times you play it.
Right.
And I tried to buy it, and it was sold out everywhere. Couldn't get it, and then it just showed up, and I bought it today. Actually,
You bought it today?
I did. There was one left on Amazon. At least that's what Amazon told me. So
Boy, be careful. I just did that the other day with some flying bases for my Star Trek miniatures, and they're like, "We had to cancel your order.
yeah, we'll
Out of
see.
stock."
I'll be so sad. It was a fun game. This was like months ago too.
But I would consider you to be a gamer. Like you just like gaming.
Yeah.
I think you like both the game itself and the social aspects of it.
Yes.
Me, I'm more into the social aspects of it than the game itself. Now, that being said, if I'm going to play a game, it needs to be a good game.
The game is called Celestia. It's very fun. You basically, each person has a little character on this boat, and you go to a different island, and then on that island, you check to see what the, you like roll dice to see what the kind of think the obstacles you have to overcome are, and then the person whose turn it is has to play a card. But before that happens, everyone decides and guesses if that person can actually play the cards they need to play, and they can either get off the boat now, or they risk crashing and having to get reset, and they don't get any points. So it's kind of this like you're trying to fake everybody out that you have the cards you can to play because you want more people to get off, or you want them to stay on with you because you're gonna have to. You can't decide to get off. It's very fun. A lot of laughing. Lost me a boat. It's a flying boat though. What about that? Yeah, it was super simple. Just like these tiles and this little like tiny little paper boat looking thing.
Yeah.
It was cool.
I love it. There's been times in my life where I'm very, very jealous of people that have like that kind of a game night and they get together. And I'm like, I've gone a ton of times. You know, I've had buddies that are like poker night, you know, and even poker doesn't register with me. I'm like, okay, yeah, sure, great, whatever. And I'll go and I'll play a little bit, but then I'm more apt to be the one sitting in the chair next to the table, just kind of yapping with everybody.
Mm-hmm.
For the social aspect of it, more so than really paying attention to the game. And with things like poker, that means you pretty much want to be nice and not join the game if you're not serious about it.
Yeah. Philip, a boat flies with fairy dust.
Seems legit. Checks out.
Yep. A movie told me that once.
A movie?
A movie.
Okay. Is that Peter Pan?
Yep. That sounds made up. It's not. It was in a movie, so it's real. Spitfire said, "Why do most car dealerships just feel sleazy as hell?"
Car dealerships?
Yep.
Yeah, that's a sales tactic that is just long in the tooth.
Mm-hmm.
But you know it is because there's a lot of people out there that try to reinvent that whole experience for people, right? All the online ones where you don't have to deal with a human, they sell themselves by, hey, you don't have to talk to a car salesman. And you know that's like, wow, the car industry should really stand up and take note if they're being competed against because there are people that are willing to buy a car without talking to a human because the humans that sell cars are so horrible.
Sunny Gameplay said, "Yeah, Phil, stop being such a doubter." Who's your favorite doubter, and why is it Phil? Then Schlubby said, "A fairy just died because of you, Phil." It's true. Have you played any games that are like you have to be secret about who you are, and you throw people under the bus and
Like Secret Hitler or something?
yeah.
No. Yes.
Okay.
I can't remember if it was Secret Hitler, but something like that. It was like, it's like who's the killer kind of thing,
Yeah.
or who's the spy,
Yeah.
or something like that. I've played some of those.
Okay.
Where,
What are your
you
thoughts?
basically have to go around the table and tell lies.
Yep.
Or truth, depending on which one you are, and then they guess.
Mhm.
You know, there's one that's like, who's the werewolf or something like that.
Yeah,
or
One Night Werewolf.
One Night Werewolf or something like that. I've played some of those. Again, I'll go and I like the social aspects, so I go and I take part in all that.
Yeah.
But I'm also not afraid to say, yeah, this isn't really my gig, but I don't want to be a downer. I'm not
Yeah.
the negative, like, why do you guys play games? That's stupid. I just want to sit around and talk to people and
Right.
have the fun of being with friends.
Right.
I don't really care to play the game so much.
Yeah.
You know, but like I have not played Among Us, the video game. Hey Jojo, what's going on? The game that Jacob brought, you're an intestine
Yeah.
one or a tapeworm.
Yep.
I think it's called tapeworm, right?
Yeah.
That one was fun.
Yeah.
And that one was cool, and I can see playing that because it had enough of a planning and crap, they took my
Yeah.
part and what I got to react on the fly kind of thing. So it felt more war gamey to me without being a
Interesting.
miniature war game.
That's funny because while I enjoy games like that, they lose their magic for me very quickly because of how simple they are.
Simple and repetitive.
If it's too simple and too repetitive, I'm like, I'll play a couple rounds, but
Yeah.
then I'm out.
Yeah.
But you put me in front of some like Gloomhaven or Massive Darkness, I'm like, let's play this for weeks.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know why.
Because that is more in-depth like story and narrative that
Right.
you're building up in your head. So
Yeah.
it's more, take it away from the game and think about it part of
Yep.
it. You're not going to go, I don't go around and think about tapeworm after I
Right.
played it, right?
Yeah.
But I think that's good for me. It's the shutdown game. It's the,
Right.
ooh, look at me. I played the thing and it was fun and I got to hang out with my
Yeah.
friends. And then when we're done, it's like, what did I do?
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. Among Us is fun. It's fun with a good set of people, and if you play with the proximity mod, because that is hilarious. Because normally you have to turn off voice chat in like Discord, but if you turn on, and maybe they added it to the game, but you turn on proximity chat, and
Yeah.
then especially if you're the killer, you jump out of a vent, and your friends are ah! You hear them screaming, and they get quieter as they run down the hall.
Oh,
It's
really?
so funny. It's the best. Or you will sneak up on them, people having conversations, and you pop out, and they just freak out and start pointing fingers at each other. It's so funny.
I saw that Vampire Survivors has a new expansion that is based around Among Us.
Oh, really?
That didn't sound fun to me. But that's only because I'm not interested in Among Us. Right? Seems sus. Yeah. Can't argue with toddler logic. You can, but it doesn't get you anywhere except frustrated, Phil.
Mm-hmm.
Frustrated.
Exactly.
A fairy just died because of you, Phil.
Good.
He said good. Phil, there's times when you and me are right on the level. I love you, buddy. I always have to toe the line between being the grumpy old man and actually seeing the fun in things.
Philip said, I love me too.
Okay, now I don't like you anymore. There's a fine balance of love and hate with Phil.
James said there's a new game on Kickstarter that looked interesting. I believe it's called Reef. It's basically a two-player shark versus an octopus.
I saw this.
One side is card-based, while the opposite side is more dice run. The shark wins if it catches the octopus, but the octopus wins if it evades the shark. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, I saw this. It's like you said, it's what do you call it? It's asymmetrical gameplay.
That's very interesting. I don't think I've ever played anything like that.
Asymmetrical?
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of Dead by Dawn or whatever it's called? Dead Before Dawn, or I forget what it's
I
called.
don't think so.
It's where you have a bunch of survivors against the killer.
Okay.
The survivors have to go around and start up all the generators. And
Oh, yeah. Dead by Daylight.
Dead by Daylight.
Yeah, the video game. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
asymmetrical. Right? Because 1v,
Right, yeah.
1v4.
Yeah. I guess more board game. I don't think I've ever played anything like that.
Well, huzzah,
I guess-
huzzah. I'll just throw back my legs and
That's not
pollute
true.
my britches with delight.
Lumberjack Tim, thank you for the sub. Welcome back.
So, buddy. doing the edges of the straps as they go around and underneath, and then leaving the darkness in these kind of wispy brush strokes. So I don't really do a blend, but I get the feeling like the leather would crease as it, goes around his muscles. So you can do simple things like that, even on simple models like this that don't have a ton of muscular detail because they're more cartoony. You can still do some neat things with your volumes when painting that gives them some depth. Like that.
That looks super cool. How are you gonna do the base?
I haven't thought about that yet because I'm doing this kind of, I put that kind of greenish glow,
Yeah.
that seafoam glow
Mhm.
on him. And so I'm probably going to do some sort of glow on the base, like maybe around the edges where the rock is broken and in the cracks of the rock, maybe coming out from the gutter.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's you have a lot of that effect on the backside.
Yeah, so like coming out from the gutter maybe,
Yeah,
and
that's
around
cool.
the broken stuffs.
Mm-hmm.
And then do the same for Red Skull because Red Skull's on the broken base too with like cables and stuff.
Yeah. That's
And
cool.
since he's not holding like the infinity cube or whatever it is, right? I don't have to worry about blue glow on his face, so I can do the same green glow from up underneath.
Yeah.
I figured I'd do each hero and villain pairing with some sort of, cohesive lighting between the two.
Mm-hmm. Game Delay said, make the gutter glow. Crossover with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh, there you go. Cool or not, needs the TMNT license so we can get some chibi TMNT models. I paint the crap out of those.
Should be Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? That'd be
Yeah,
that'd be
I was
really
painting
cool.
a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. It was a Leonardo model that I got sent, but I found out the guy steals IP when he does all of his models. He has no license to do them, and so I stopped painting it and stopped recommending people buy it.
Yeah.
Felt really bad. He is a guy over in like Eastern Europe. He doesn't care that people own the rights to stuff. He just makes it.
Dang.
He does. He's a great sculptor too, which is a shame because he could be doing some really cool stuff.
Yeah. Everybody's telling Megalodon to get Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles United done.
Megalodon's like, I didn't come here to be bullied.
Yeah. I don't know if he's here anymore. I think he had to leave for dinner or something.
Oh, was that him?
I think so. I think it was a while ago. I got some Cheez-Its. Pretty happy about
The
it.
Fisher family loves their Cheez-Its.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Schlebby, your brother's eating all the Cheez-Its. How do you feel about this?
I'm reminded that we have them by her, so it's her fault. She said he better not.
I mean, he's right here doing it. There's no better not about it.
I'll hide the box from you. You'll never know. No, I said that first. I said it first. Even though it's going to be delayed for you, I said it first. She also said that she's going to hide them from me.
Yep. Gabe, it's very unfortunate, but if there's a side to take between you and your sister, I'm always taking your sister's side.
Dang it.
She's more believable.
That's true. That's fair. I'm a hooligan.
I mean, I mean, you'd buy the hell out of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles United. Can you imagine like the big rhino and hippo guy or whatever it was? I forget what their names are. No, the warthog and the rhino, wasn't it? Big bads.
I'll find them, Shelby.
Gabe's pretty good at this game, Shelby.
I am.
Bebop and Rocksteady. Yeah, you got it. In chibi form. Those guys were way after me. I was only Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle in like the original black and white. By the time it went color, I was not paying attention anymore. They were some of the first people I ever submitted my portfolio to and got good responses from. Was Kevin Eastman.
That's cool.
And Peter Laird. And Mirage Press was their company that released Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles before they sold the IP and became rich people.
Yeah.
But they were a little indie comic studio doing black and white, very adult, violent comics that had these silly turtles in it.
That's awesome.
And it was at a time where everybody, once they started selling issues, other studios started ripping it off. And so we had like, you know, adolescent kung fu boxes or something. I don't remember. There's all of these people that were making rips on them, you know, because at the time it was kind of silly. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Bye, Jade. Have a great night.
Take it easy, Jade. Yeah, but I had some stuff submitted for a magazine they did called Turtle Soup. I loved Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. All my comic book buddies were like, that's stupid. I was like, have you read it? Don't tell me it's stupid until you've read it, because it's pretty brutal.
Hello, Avian. How are you?
Now this is just golden brown by itself, and I'm gonna bring it in here and just do kind of the
Hi, Source. How you doing?
upper highlight edges.
Avian cleaning up the place before heading out for the holidays. Nice. It's always great. And I never do it, and I always regret it. Is coming home to like cleaning before a big vacation, so I can come home to a clean house. I was like, I don't need to clean it. I'm gonna be gone. And you get home, you're like, oh, this sucks.
Same old dirt. Turns out.
It didn't clean itself. Oh.
Jay Wedge, seeing how they are two different products, but can you use the glaze and wash medium in a similar weathering application as Noosh? No, that's the difference between Noosh won't be hard, shouldn't be hard to find in Canada. They got shipped an absolute crap ton of it. Or they may have an order going out. They didn't order a whole lot when they first launched. They only got, I don't remember, I don't want to lie to you. They didn't bring in a whole lot, and then it went away immediately, and then they made a big order. So that big order is probably not in Canada yet, but it will be.
To be fair, I feel like Noosh is kind of hard to find, period. Currently.
It has been our fastest selling product ever. The response in the community has been great, with people at least wanting to give it a shot, so it's awesome.
Wedge, I'm gonna type in chat a link so that you can check out maybe a local game store, give them a call, see if maybe they have some coming on the way or they have some already. But you also just keep a tab on them. Just tell them to let you know when they get it.
Tell them that Monument told you directly that there's more coming and they should contact their distributor.
Mm-hmm.
Because the stores in Canada don't buy directly from us; they buy from the Canadian distribution.
Yep.
So just tell them that you heard on our stream that there's more on the way, and they should get on top of that. And then they can at least... The distributor doesn't pre-sell, I don't think. But...
Ghost Hunter, I have a full bottle of Noosh. I feel privileged.
It's
pretty
good
hard
stuff.
to find. Yeah.
But yeah, Noosh is a subtractive weathering medium. We didn't want to put the word subtractive in it because that doesn't mean anything to people that haven't done that before. But it is meant to put it on and then take it off. And all of the weathering that it does, that streakiness and that filter, is done by the motion of taking the paint off. So if you take the paint off top to bottom, you get that streaky top to bottom feel. Same up, down, side to side, whatever. But you know, if you watch the video of me doing this particular model, right, you'll notice that the way that I take the paint off by streaking it is what gives me the specific effects. Whereas glaze and wash medium, you would have to deliberately paint the weathering on there, and once the paint's on there, you can't really do anything to change it. You have a couple of seconds with the glaze wash medium because it does extend drying time a little bit. So you can put a little glaze wash in there and then take a wet brush and like blend it, but it isn't going to be thick enough when you do that to have the streaky effect and grime nature that Noosh does, right? And it'll take a little bit getting used to, but I mean, this is great. This kind of effect, having a model look this good inside, what did it take us filming? 10 minutes? 15 minutes?
To film that?
For the main filter, and then probably again to...
Yeah.
It was short.
It was pretty quick.
A little bit longer because on a big model like this, I was doing it stage by stage, you know. Each
Well, you
part of the
also did
model.
a second layer, too.
Oh, yeah. When we
'Cause
did
you-
the rust.
You did the rust as another layer, so that's why I was thinking of the whole thing, but forgot about the second layer.
Yeah, we probably filmed for like an hour.
Yeah.
But I was also talking while we're doing it, so.
Mhm. Yep.
Jotun, what's going on?
Think of the follow. We also have 4 minutes. So
Fenris has some in stock? Yeah,
Follow
Fenris is
up.
good. I may stay a little late. You don't have to, but
Okay.
I'm going to stay painting. I've been enjoying painting Cap, so we're going to continue painting Cap. If people hang out with me. It's been a long time since I've been able to just hang out with chat. Talk nonsense.
Phil said he'll probably come hang out for a bit.
Awesome.
Source asks, how do I paint like Slow Fuse but without practicing?
I have some bath water I'll sell you.
Some farts in jars.
Farts in jars. Oh my god. That's a great April Fool's joke product. Farts in jars.
It's a thing.
Acryl farts in jars. That's gross.
It is gross. It's like
People are the
goes-
weirdest, dude.
bath water, farts in jars. Don't eat the farts. Yes.
Everything I'm doing here is really simple. I on this model, I think that probably the hardest thing that I've done on this model is the airbrushing. You know, to just keep, because it's a small model and the details are not super pronounced. So the airbrushing to get the coloring the way that I wanted it with the highlight on the blue and everything is probably the hardest thing for me, at least, that I've done. Now, you could say that some of the glazing that I've done to get the reds and the grays to, you know, do what they're doing is hard for some people, but the way I'm doing it is very simple. You know, if we come over here and I punch in, right, give you the super zoom, you can see I'm not really worried about texture much. I'm doing the texture on the leather to make it look a little aged. You know, but nothing is really super smooth on here. Right? So, nothing you can't do. The real key to what I'm doing is just being patient and not jumping from a dark color to a super bright color. I'm doing the mixes in between. So, like on this leather, I did dark umber, then I did a light umber mixed with dark umber, then light umber mixed with golden brown, and then golden brown. So I'm creating those blends through mixing the colors, not blending on the model, right? And that makes it a lot easier. It takes a little bit more time, and like I said, it requires a little bit more patience because you're having to paint the same area 4 or 5 times instead of 2 or 3, but you get a better blended looking surface. And when you can get over the fact that, oh my God, I saw a guy on the internet say I should be able to paint cool models in 30 minutes, get over it. That's not I mean, you might have a time where painting a model in 30 minutes is very important, but come on.
Davey has a question. Are there any videos on painting glass and or monitors, i.e. the dashboard of various marine vehicles?
We don't have anything, there probably are. We don't have anything specific to that that I can think of, but
Maybe
glass is what we would refer to here as reflective surface painting. And so it's very much like any of the non-metallic metal videos we do, but it does have its own kind of need in the way the reflection needs to be. So it would be much better for you to get something, specifically focused on glass. But when we say non-metallic metal, painting the shine on his armor is the same thing I would do for glass, or like you said, like the dash on vehicles, or like I always think about that little screen that's on the door in Rhinos and Land Raiders, right? The door that goes up to the front of the tank always has like a little keypad and a screen on it. Yeah. And I want to always envision that as being like a monochromatic green screen. So I would do this same stuff, but with blacks and greens. And if I blended it the same way I've done here on this metal, then I would get the idea of a lens on a computer monitor, right? The only reason this looks like metal is the colors I've chosen, right? The shine works for metal. It also works for glass. Glass would be that reflective, maybe even more so, right?
We do have, I believe we solved the VODs, or that's when we started doing them, was when you were painting your BattleTech.
Uh-huh. Oh, they're
small, but
the windshields.
The windows.
Yeah, the windshields on the BattleTech. There is a good video up on YouTube about painting the headlight of a MCP car, and that would be good. But it was a clear headlight lens, so I was creating depth and making it look like a clear lens. But that gives you a good look at it.
Mm-hmm. Wad said, "A Wad is never early or late. He arrives precisely when he intends to. Except this time. He's hella late this time.
But yeah, around here you'll find me talk a lot about reflective surface painting. You can give it a fancy acronym if you want, but the reality is that everything that reflects light kind of paints the same. Metal, plastic, glass, right? It's the way you take the jump from your dark color to your bright color that makes it look reflective. On more reflective surfaces, we'll do the spoon talk. This is one of the things that people, I think it really sticks. I've got this spoon, right? And I've got this pencil with the clip, right? And so you look at the spoon, the back's a little bit cleaner, right? I put on my jeans. Right? So we have the spoon, and what's the thing that you can tell me about the spoon versus this clip on the pencil? What separates them and makes one look shinier or more reflective than the other? Shinier is always a tough word for people because shine is usually regulated by brightness, like that's coming back at you. So both of these are very bright, but which one's more reflective? The spoon, right? And so what's the difference in the coloration of the spoon versus this guy? And I'll turn it to where it, it has a little bit less direct bright light like that. Okay? What's the difference between the two that makes one more reflective than the other? The answer is that on this guy, your darkest color is kind of this shadow down here, right? And it then goes from dark to bright with a lot of gradient in between. We go dark, not so dark, a little lighter, a little bit lighter, a little bit lighter, a little bit lighter, a little bright, right? So that's a blend, the way we talk about in painting. That's a nice smooth blend from dark to light. Whereas on the spoon, you don't have those blends. You have very abrupt changes from darkest color to brightest color because it's reflecting more of the nature of its surrounding. And in the surroundings, that light right there doesn't have a blend out to everything else. It's a dark ceiling, bright light. Dark ceiling, bright light, right? And it's only the texture or the hazing on the spoon that causes the light to actually blend out. Otherwise, they'd all just be bright white circles, right?
Jen's back.
Oh, did they show up?
At 3...
Right as you were doing it, like clockwork.
Was I about to
She
get in my
had her
car and drive
purse.
away? I was about to give him. Yeah, I had locked my door, had my purse, my waters.
And he walks in.
And then I hear the ding ding, and I'm like.
She looks right at me. She's like, I was like, oopsies.
So we made the swap.
Yeah.
And he got to take it all.
That's
so
annoying.
That's how I
but
do.
Also nice you don't have to drive to the post office.
Yeah.
That's how we create the difference between shiny objects and create metal and glass and plastic. And so here you can see, like on the leather belt around his waist, how I've blended that more. We go from our brightest to our darkest spot with a lot more blending. Now I've done stippling to do that blend, but I still don't just go dark to light. Whereas on the armor, I go dark to light very quick. And the only reason that light line, that bright reflective line, blends out would be assumed to be texture on the armor, that the armor's been beat up, But I have a lot of very dark colors right next to very bright colors, and that's what makes it look reflective across all the helmets and everything that we got going on here. So that looks like metal, right? If I were to paint it like we painted Cap, all of his stuff goes from dark to bright, same kind of brightness, same kind of darkness, but between those two levels of value, I blend a lot more. And so nothing looks as shiny on Cap as it does on this metal on this model. And so when you start wrapping your brain around that concept, that it's the proximity of brightest color to darkest color, how close are they and how many other stages of color separate them, is what gives you reflective or not. So when you're doing cloth, you want big blends so that it looks absorptive and not reflective. And on metal, you want very short blends, dark, bright.
Well, huzzah, huzzah. I'll just throw
Avian,
back
thank you
my
for the
legs and
gifted
pollute my
subs.
britches with
Gift
delight.
subs.
Five.
And
Avian
Wattomato,
feeling Christmassy.
Wattomato is correct. I came back because I knew he was here.
Well, huzzah, huzzah.
I like that that's
I'll
his
just
new
throw
official
back
name.
my legs and pollute my
Yes.
britches with delight.
All right, I am really leaving this time.
Now she's leaving.
Now I'm leaving. Bye, everyone.
Bye, Jen.
Avian, thank you so much.
Well, huzzah,
Somebody said the
huzzah.
spoon is
I'll
bigger.
just throw
Did
back
anybody
my
say there
legs
is no
and
spoon?
pollute my britches with delight.
That would have been a perfect time to say there is no spoon.
Cantankerous.
Matrix. I know that reference.
The BattleTech VODs, I want to say we're in like
Well, huzzah,
April
huzzah.
or May.
I was gonna say
Throw
middle
back
of the
my
year.
legs and pollute
Yeah,
my britches
April or
with
May.
delight.
There's a chance that they were before we started uploading them to YouTube, and then they've been lost to Twitch. But if they're there, check around April, May, and the thumbnails on
Huzzah,
YouTube will
huzzah.
have
I'll just throw back
the,
my legs and pollute my
picture
britches
of
with
some
delight.
BattleTech minis in the background if they're there. I'm pretty sure there are. I recall doing that. So. JB Gray said, "I'm a sub again." Woohoo!
Thank you, Avian.
Yes. Thank
Very,
you.
very generous.
Yes, thank you. You are welcome, King Tigris. All right, I do need to go.
Okay.
It's been fun.
Bye, Gabe.
It's been cool, but don't have too much fun without me.
We're gonna have so much fun without you.
Please don't. I have FOMO.
I've been waiting to talk until you leave.
I have FOMO.
I've been quietly waiting for you to leave.
All right. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye,
You're
Gabe.
gonna
Thank
You're gonna
you.
put us on the screen.
Oh yeah, I'm a terrible producer.
Yeah, you suck.
Yep.
Oh, look at us. We're in the corner.
There you go.
Bye.
See you, Gabe. Have a good night.
Bye. You too.
Bye, Gabe. Drive safe.
No,
Okay.
I will drive dangerous.
Yeah.
All right. Just like everybody else in this town.
Yeah.
Gabe
we
and Phil and I
almost-
nearly
I was
died.
gonna say we almost died today at lunch.
Don't tell Jen that.
They are the angel and the devil shoulder chair guys. Wait, who's good and who's bad? Who's the angel and who's the devil?
Don't ask questions you don't want the answer to.
I want the answer. That's why I'm asking.
I feel like I should be the devil, but I feel like they're gonna say that Phil is the devil.
So Jacob
I'm
is
okay with
definitely
both.
low key the devil. All right.
He just doesn't talk as much.
He's smart. The devil lets you figure it out. He's not trying to advertise.
What was that?
There's a fly.
Like, that was terrifying. Look at the color temperature. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Why is what? Yeah. I think based on the color temperature, Jacob is definitely the angel here.
For some reason, those cameras reset every time.
Every time.
OBS starts up.
Yeah.
Gabe hasn't locked
why
them
am I
down yet,
orange?
or I don't know if they can. We need to get better cameras and not use webcams is the problem.
Well, let me know what you do with those webcams.
I haven't decided you guys are pretty enough yet to invest in new Sony cameras for us.
Oh, yeah.
I
I'm
agree.
definitely not. Let me do a couple more months at the gym and then we'll figure it out. Did I tell you Jordan and I are going to be working out together?
That's what I've been hearing for months now.
Well, yep. No, we have a set date now. He is. I have let him because I work out at my other gym. I have another gym membership that
Yep.
I'm fine going to, and so he set a date, and I told him I would teach him if he set the date, and he
Good.
finally set a date. So we're going.
Good.
I want him to want it. want.
Yeah, the gym doesn't work if you're not committed
Exactly.
to doing it.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm bad at motivating myself too. I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like I'm the epitome of health. So it'll be nice to have a buddy to go with. I'm curious, but I respect boundaries. Oh, you guys are talking to each other. Jacob's a devil. He needs to switch seats. You can come sit on my lap if he wants. Yep, I knew it.
I'm just kidding. I
never,
can't do it.
I never lose.
Who's your favorite disembodied voice?
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Who's your favorite disembodied voice and why is it Phil? Thank you. They finally put me on the screen. I don't know. Gabe he wanted all the attention on himself. We can turn it off if you want. I can just go back to being disembodied.
They didn't answer on who they think is the angel and who's the devil.
They did. They said look at the temperature on the cameras. Like
I know, but like, what's their?
What would you say, Game Delay? Who
Yeah.
do you think is the angel and the devil?
I
Not
want
based on
their
lighting.
opinion.
Based on you've watched enough streams to have had us both participate.
I want chat's opinion. Game delays specifically, though.
Game Delay specifically. Everyone else is entitled to answer as well, because everyone's entitled to their opinions, even if they're wrong.
I also want.
Aw.
I also want Watamaton's opinion
Yeah.
specifically.
Specifically. We're waiting.
I'm still perplexed as to why you're asking for Game Delay and Automaton's opinions on anything.
Would seem good on the surface and result in disaster in about a week.
That is 100% what I do
That's 1,000% what Jacob does.
intentionally for some.
Thalamus. I don't know if I'd ever know how to spell the word thalamus.
I've never heard the word thalamus before.
Hypothalamus?
Nope.
There are no angels. You're both kind of jerks. Thank you, Punisher. That's what we're going for here. Bill would give bad advice. I did the opposite, and I would know he was looking out for me. Yeah. It'd be intentionally sarcastic, bad advice. That's about spot on. Deviltry? 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 How do you pronounce that, Jacob?
I'm gonna say deviltry.
Okay, me too. That's what I think. Oh, James is in chat now. Hi, James. Who's your favorite coworker and why is it me?
Oh. It probably is.
I had to say it. It's my thing. I have to say it now. They'll give best advice. Yes, I do. Always. Oh, Gosu. How goes hobby time? Hobby homies. How goes it, hobby homies? Wow, I can't read today. Whew. Well, I can't read most days, but
What's going on, Gosu? Sorry, Phil, we didn't hire you because of your reading skills.
that's good. I would hope not. My dashing good looks,
Yes,
my charm.
definitely.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Needed a poster child. I get it.
It
was between me and-
It was the Adopt a Marine
It
initiative.
was between me and Ruben. Phil would give terrible but more
Aw.
fun advice, so he's the devil. He really disappointed Jacob.
Yeah.
He really wanted you to side with him. Apparently, we both want to be the devil.
I wanted the. I mean, no. I just like. I wish that. I thought I was giving terrible but more fun advice.
I think it's just because Phil's mouthier.
I am a lot mouthier, especially to chat.
I don't remember, Jacob.
I'm tired when I come in here sometimes.
That's why you fall asleep. I think I'll be finishing this Loken versus Abaddon diorama in time for Christmas for my dad.
James says Jacob is the
Ooh.
man.
Thank you, James.
Jacob is a man.
I hope so. Hey, call me Jake. Thank you, Game Delay.
I don't know if I should take that as a compliment or I take it as a compliment. I choose to receive that as a compliment.
I disrespect your
That censored
advice.
word could be anything. Doesn't necessarily have to be a bad word. I disrespect your advice.
I've never heard that before, and now I like
If it
have
helps,
reached a
Jake,
new
I
level.
disrespect your advice.
I've reached a new level of like disappointment in myself for someone to say they disrespect my advice.
So I don't know what a Luna Wolf paint scheme is.
It's
Could you describe it to me
I can show you a picture.
with pictures? No, I said Gozu. He has to do it. Okay.
Jacob's trying to give good advice.
He is. I couldn't tell you what the Sons of Horus paint scheme looks like either. I've not. Oh, okay. Yeah, I've seen that. Never mind. I like painting. What is that, like white? Gray?
It's like silvery white.
Silvery? I like painting whites. I'm not great at it yet, but I like doing it.
It looks so good when you get it right. Or get close
I've
to
had a
right
couple
even.
that I got really right. Like the Timberwolf I did a few years back. I got it. I don't know why, but it just turned out great.
Weren't a bunch of your initial BattleTech models white?
They were, but a lot of them were I speed painted because Brendan wanted painted models for like a quick game, and so we were like, oh, we'll paint them overnight, and like I didn't get to spend as much time on them as I wanted to. A lot of them still are. Like I just finished a Marauder that I did white, and I'm pretty proud of that one. I think I'm just so inconsistent with it. Sometimes it turns out great, and other times I'm like, why does this look like gray?
But yeah, that's the thing, right? Is that you're painting mostly gray and then finding a way to dump it up to white.
Yeah, how do I get
How
the
do
eye
you keep
to
it?
read
Like, you know, all the white on him right now is just bright neutral gray.
Exactly.
With neutral gray underneath. So how do you make that final punch? I like doing the neutral gray, bright neutral gray, sometimes even dark neutral gray, depending on how dirty I want it. His I don't want super dirty. But then I'll do transparent white next. Transparent white will blend all the grays and punch them up just a little bit and desaturate them. And then you can just use titanium white as a highlight.
Yeah. That's what I need to start using the transparent more.
Transparent white is
I
a
need to.
godsend for painting white.
Wow.
It's what fixes all the ills of painting white.
Yes, I play Comstar Lances. Like, exclusively. The Flashman is arguably... No, it's not even arguably. It is my favorite mech to play.
I thought it was the crab.
No, the Crab is my favorite mech. But the Flashman is very, very stereotypical Comstar. Because it's an old Star League design. And it's just like, hi, we have 42 lasers on this mech. And
There's
it's
no
just...
way we can fire them all.
And we can fire them all. because we have 20 double heat sinks. So that one's always fun. Because it's just like, hey, we can see you. It's going to hit you. Got larges, mediums, smalls. It's got the works. Oh, we got a raid. Tabletop Titans rated with 26. Hello.
What's going on, guys?
How you guys doing? Welcome to Angel and Devil on Your Shoulder time with me and Jacob. You get to decide who's who.
It's Mini Cap.
It is Baby Cap.
Ha-ha!
Mini, not Baby.
What's going on? Welcome, everybody.
It's Chair Guy and everyone's favorite coworker. Thank
Exactly.
you. I like that. That is, yes, I concur.
Little Potter says, mechs with no axes? No, thank you.
There is an Axeman.
He knows that's all he plays. He's got a Hatchet Man, an Axe
Oh,
Man.
that's
and whatever
Potter.
the
I didn't
light-
even read the name.
He even
I
brought
don't-
whatever the light one is that's so horrible.
Oh, I didn't even read the name. It is literally Potter. Hi, Potter. I helped you pick those mechs with Ruben.
AP
Well,
Gray
let me
goes, where
rephrase,
did
I helped
Crochet
you.
Girl go? That's Schlebby. She
She
probably
went
went home.
She gets off at 4.
I mean,
We all do.
we technically all do.
Here we are.
I hate every single one of the axe-wielding mechs. The Axeman is actually a good mech.
It
I
is.
think
It's a
it
good
has like
heavy.
an AC-20 and
Yeah,
axe, so
it's
it's pretty
great.
brutal.
Yeah,
But it's
you're-
slow as balls.
Oh, I mean, it's basically just take a hunchback.
Yeah, it's like in order for it to be good, because of the weapon it wields as a melee weapon, it sacrifices speed
Yep.
or armor,
Yep.
which neither one are good.
Which is bad. Yeah, you don't want a heavy that has no armor.
I want fast stuff. Like
Yeah.
I play Wolverines
Of course you do.
because the slowest mech I can stand to play is 585,
Yeah.
and that's actually down from the days when I would never play anything slower than 696.
It's
Right?
funny. I played a game against Gabe a few weeks ago, And I just,
My Lances used to be 2 6.9.6s and 2 8.12.8s.
yeah, I brought 4 8.12.8s.
Yeah.
I brought 4 8.12s, and then I brought.
You're impossible to hit the whole game.
Oh, it's so funny because
The whole
he
game.
brings all his. He's got like 3 blackjacks or whatever. He's got 2 blackjacks and a Phoenix Hawk.
As long
And
as you
that's
don't jump and you run 12
Oh yeah,
and you cover a minimum of 9 hexes,
I had a
you're
wad.
impossible to
yeah.
hit the whole game. I
I
mean,
don't-
if he hits you, you're dead. But
Yeah.
you know, if he rolls good,
He did
then
kill
you're
me
dead. But
eventually.
That's the risk.
But
That's
yeah.
the risk.
I brought a wasp, a mercury, and a locust as the opening 3.
You were told no Axeman yet. It's not your fault.
You can buy them now. You just couldn't start with them.
We're talking big stompy robots, supposed robot lover,
Yeah.
JP.
It's okay, JP. I also have no idea what they're saying.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, okay, so Jacob, little known fact about Jacob, when he
We are
picks
just
his
saying
battle
numbers.
mechs, he picks them by the coolest name.
I literally went just read. I was just reading a list and pointing out the names I thought he would like. He's like,
And when he
"Ooh,
said
yeah,
Shadowhawk, he's like, ooh.
I like that one."
I'm like, oh, please, no.
That is actually what happened.
That's literally exactly what happened. And you picked like one of the worst mechs you could have picked.
But it's cool.
It's not. It looks bad too. I hate its design.
No, the Shadowhawk looks really good.
I don't like the Shadowhawk. I think the Shadowhawk looks bad.
I think the Shadowhawk's a good looking mech. It's just unfortunate that for the tabletop game, it does not play very well.
No, it plays terribly.
It's the worst of those mediums because it's having to battle with the Griffin and the Wolverine. That's
Yeah,
its,
it just
that's
can't-
its
it just can't
compatriots at
compete.
that year model.
Yeah.
And you always take the Wolverine or the Griffin over the Shadowhawk. The
Yeah.
Shadowhawk just doesn't have anything good about it.
Yeah.
But it's funny.
But you didn't know that.
It was funny when I picked the name. That's all that matters to me.
Get a long stick. Yeah, just get a longer stick. Good right as a wedge. What if you have a really long arm though? Game delay. You guys can't see me stretching my arm out really far. I mean, they're not built by Mars or undead robot men. I don't know the robot talk, but I like them. They are not built by undead robot men. We were just talking. I just taught Gabe what servitors was yesterday. He didn't know.
Oh, he didn't know.
Well, we were playing Adeptus Titanicus like a couple weeks ago.
Oh, yeah.
And so he just thought it was
Servitor Clades.
he just thought it was just guys just hanging out inside. And I was
Oh,
like,
no.
oh no, these are robo slaves.
Oh, yeah.
These are just men with no souls.
They did bad things.
I thought we said that when we played,
I don't think it
Titanicus.
clicked because yesterday he
Oh.
was very surprised.
because we were making jokes about how I have 7.
So you know how these days you go to
Clades.
prison?
Yeah, no.
Those days,
you die,
you shoot
or
guns.
yeah,
but you kind of are the gun.
you are the gun, or you're just a floating head with not much of a brain left.
Chimpanzees are terrifying with their long arms. Yes.
An axe,
Give it an
nightmares.
axe, and nightmares are made. Exactly.
I'll give a chimpanzee any weapon. That's a nightmare.
Bug says, I've never heard a server to complain. Exactly.
That's correct. You are not wrong. I mean, Atlas is just.
Crypt
po-
Shadow
the
likes the
poster-
Atlas. I don't because
is
it's an
the battle
assault
mech.
mech. I obviously
You-
like the Atlas
yeah.
because it's kind of like the.
It's the poster boy.
It's one of the poster boy quintessential BattleTech mechs, but I don't like it on the table. It is a great weapons platform. It is one of the better assault mechs because it can.
do anything.
Do
It'll
anything.
fit whatever narrative you need it to.
Yeah, and like the AS7D with the ability to
Jump.
offer ECM jamming.
Oh,
and
the
stuff
ECM,
like that
that's
is pretty
right,
good
yeah,
too.
yeah.
But you know, it has some good variants and stuff. But you
But
pay
you gotta
so
get
much
it in
for
position
'em.
with the ECM.
You
It's
pay so much for 'em.
slow.
And I can take 2 Wolverines and kill it. So again,
Yeah. Speed.
I
is
just like
everything.
fast
Speed
stuff.
is everything in that game.
I like fast stuff. Unless we're playing scenarios like Bring It Down or some of those ones that I've written that are really fun that are like one person plays this humongous weapon platform, but unfortunately there you're always picking a clan mech. Usually a Daiichi or something.
Well, that's the scenario I wrote for Gabe. It was basically it started with he had to face the 3 little light mechs, and then halfway through, half repaired Atlas came out.
Woof.
Yeah, it was half busted, and so his whole goal was to kill the Atlas, so he didn't actually have to pay attention to the Locust or the.
That's a problem though. You
But
start not paying attention to Locust.
Yeah. No, well, what I did is I gave him 5 turns basically before the Atlas came out.
Gotcha.
So he had actually only had 2 lights out to start, and then the third one came out, and then the Atlas came out at turn 7. So he had time to basically. It was 3v2 at the beginning, so he had time to pick off the lights.
Time to go hero mode.
Ooh, going bright. The turn-based one is really good. I like the turn-based one. It's got a lot of fun mods that you can put on it. I think it's just called BattleTech.
BattleTech,
the
yeah.
game, yeah. I like that one a lot. It's pretty close to the tabletop game. They changed a
Yeah.
lot of like the line of sight and ranges and
Not too much though.
Not too much. It's pretty true to how the tabletop game plays. I grew up playing MechWarrior, so I didn't even realize it was a tabletop game until like I started working here. It was like 2 years ago when Jason and Ruben were talking about it. I was like, what?
Yeah, a lot of people, are like, oh, they
Hold on,
made
what's
a
this?
tabletop game out of the video game I grew up playing. I was like, well, yes, maybe. Whatever makes you like it.
Oh, I mean, yeah, I love it. And to be better, I'm supposed to be writing a bunch of scenarios, and I've been so bad at it. I get home from work, and it just completely brain dumps out of my mind. I wrote Gabe's. I wrote Ruben's. Potter, I think you had Pirate Hunting too, right? I think I wrote yours too. I need to write Jason's, and I need to write Christopher's. Christopher, did I tell you what contract Christopher got?
I don't want to know.
He got, what was the name of it? It was something stupid. He got a retainer, basically. His contract was do nothing.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna make him do something really stupid. Because he's on retainer, so his mission could be whatever I want it to be.
Did you write mine?
Oh, I need to write yours too. Which one did you have? Did you have Pirate Hunting too?
I don't know.
You don't remember. Okay. I'll have to check the sheet.
I love how you called him out, and he's like,
I thought you had Pirate Hunting, but maybe you didn't.
I love Bold Pyro Red. It's so good.
It's probably one of my favorite colors.
It's so good.
It just works.
I don't use pure Bold Pyro Red on much, right? I'm
Yeah.
usually mixing it with stuff.
Yeah.
Or I'm airbrushing it like on my Blood Angels. But on the brush, over mahogany and burnt red, it's just the de facto red. It's so good.
It just looks great. Are you enjoying painting this one?
Oh yeah, he's great.
Nice.
Yeah, these models are great. I've only ever painted the Thanos, right?
Yeah,
And so-
I remember the Thanos. I remember.
And Thanos was tons of fun. I did it in a totally different style. But yeah, these models are fantastic. They're just so characterful. And
Yeah.
the fact that I do love the comic book characters, but I'm never really intrigued to paint them,
in their standard form.
canon colors.
Yeah.
But these models make it to where I don't care.
Yeah.
These models are just fun enough that I'm like, oh yeah, I don't care. We're just painting old school Cap right now. Because for me, I think the outcome on models like these, cartoony heroes is more just, doing the realistic style or doing a really cool paint job on them makes a model that you would think would be more of just a board game plastic into some really cool piece of art.
Yeah. I like it a lot. They're not great. I saw that Kingpin model. I really wanted to paint that one.
The chibi one?
Yeah, I think
he's really good.
You took it, didn't you?
Oh, I have Daredevil maybe.
Maybe
Did
you
I
took
take
Daredevil.
Kingpin and I thought I took
I think you
Bullseye.
I think you might have taken Kingpin too,
I might have taken Kingpin and Bullseye.
because you wanted both. That's fine.
I can give
I
you
just
any paint. I don't care.
I think we got more of them. Didn't we get a second set?
I don't know that.
I don't know what we got.
We got so much crap
Oh
from
my
him.
goodness, yeah.
He's not here right now, I don't think.
I say that, but like I don't have. I just got a box of Flesh Eater Court stuff that I need to paint, so I don't actually have time to paint Chibi Kingpin.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I got other stuff. I got.
Our
Some,
eyes are always bigger than our stomachs
I
as
know.
miniature
I'm like,
painters.
oh, that sounds great. Like I have stuff I haven't even built yet. Oh, the Chibi, yeah. Avian, it's so. Do you have it with you, Jason? The Chibi Kingpin up there? Or
He'll be on the. If you want to go grab it, it's on that bookcase as you walk into my office on the left.
I'll go find it.
They're all up on the top there. They're all just kind of dumped there.
He was like,
All the ones I took, I was like, all right, eventually I'll get to these.
yeah, you had him.
Okay.
Oh, Jordan's camera's not on. I gotta give it to you.
Yeah, he's great. Yeah,
Oh
he's
my
great.
God.
Kingpin's awesome. Again, just chibi Kingpin. Look at the teeny weeny feet.
Tiny feet.
Tiny feet. But, it's not... It's cartoony, but it also has a little bit of seriousness to it. Right?
Yeah, his scowl is great.
He needs like a pinstripe suit. He needs like the black pinstripe suit Kingpin.
That'd be so cool.
That's if I paint him, that's how I'll paint him. Is black pinstripe suit and red Daredevil.
Which
What is this game? So you don't go scroll Amazon for it? It's Marvel United. Marvel United by Cool Mini or Not. And it is amaze balls for the minis. I don't
There's
care
so many.
if I ever learn to play it. It got me hooked with
Pink
just the
ascot.
minis themselves.
Oh, yes. And there's so many of them too. I mean,
Oh,
like,
there's tons,
like
absolute tons.
literally,
Like
like,
Jen is painting Deadpool on the unicorn, which is absolutely amazing.
so funny.
She'll be painting next Friday with us on stream, and hopefully she picks up with this one because it's hilarious. It's got the ragtag tongue out unicorn and then Deadpool flying the peace sign, holding, I don't know what he's holding, a present, a box of chimichangas.
Whatever you want it to be.
Yeah, whatever you want it to be.
Where do you buy? Marvel United. Google. Find. I don't know where. I don't know. Your local game store.
Yeah.
Great question.
How much money you got? You can buy some from us. He's not here, so we can auction them off to the highest bidder.
Yeah, exactly.
No, we
Who's
got.
gonna stop
He
us?
said like Megalodon sent us like literally everything. We got the X-Men set. We got all
Yeah,
that
we got
stuff.
so much. Holding the Cosmic Cube.
Is he really?
Is that what it's supposed to be? Like, that's a
Huh.
big. I feel like it's really big.
How does that work?
I mean, I guess you could paint it as a Cosmic Cube.
Box of chimichangas.
I have lots of Pokemon cards. Whoa, what Pokemon cards?
Oh, look out!
Hee.
Look out!
I freaking love Pokemon cards. I grew up. I wish I still had. I think every like millennial has said this. Like, oh, I wish I still had the cards I had growing up because we all had the original ones that everyone's fawning over now.
Man, I had Black Lotus.
Oh,
I had Beta Power 9.
Oh, that's just raw. Yeah, it's you're just like, man, who would have known?
I never had cards.
You have too many now.
I know. We're making up.
We're making up for lost time. I'll buy every card that comes out. You don't buy Magic though.
Nope.
You don't like Magic, right?
Not particularly.
He does.
I don't know, Jason. I feel like you've played enough Magic with me to figure that out.
You're kind of like me. I think you really like it. You just don't like playing it much.
I mean,
It's
Is
the
there-
greatest card game, man. It's just very frustrating, and like all of them, Magic I think feels the most samey to me. But then when I played Digimon, it became super samey really quick. So that's just the same thing. I think if you gotta play cards, or if you're gonna play cards, you're gonna pick the one that sameness feels good for you,
I mean,
either
yeah.
through card player because with the friends you're playing it with. Like I can say that back when I had a playtest group for Magic that we were touring and playing in competitions together, it literally you couldn't get me to stop playing it. Now that we just play it casually around here, I can take it or leave it. It doesn't matter to me.
Yeah.
So I totally understand.
I got 2 games in with the new deck that I got, and people stopped wanting to play with me.
I can play with you.
Okay. Actually, the one time I did play with you that's the first time that deck lost. So I played 3 times because you
You
also
forgot the one.
You also played that super mean deck.
It's not even mean.
Did he play
it's a
his
poison
his
deck?
poison deck?
Yes, it's the
No,
poison
it's a black deck with black cards in it, and there's like 1 or 2 that give a poison counter.
You just
Oh,
ha-
it's the other one.
yeah, the other one. The other one that's not
The other
fun
one
to
that
play
just says
against.
you can't do a lot of
It's
stuff.
just black.
Yes, that pretty much that. It was
And it
like,
doesn't say you can't do anything. It just
Mm.
said I can just get rid of anything you can do.
Yeah.
It's different. I have played a lot of Commander.
I have the new what is it? It's relatively new, right? The Squirrel Commander. I forget which one.
It's not super new.
Nah.
Oh, okay. I got that one. That one's really fun.
Chatterfang.
Chatterfang, yeah, that's the one. The first game I played, Shelby was like, I can't wait to try my new deck. And I was like, oh, I'll try mine too. And then in the first, 3 turns, I had, 42 squirrels.
Yeah, you had all.
And then I was like, I sacrifice them all, and you take 1 damage for each one I sacrifice, or something like that. It's something dumb where I just...
Yeah, you deal direct damage on squirrels, so...
Yeah, it was... Because
I
they're
love that.
flying.
That
I had
deck's
the big
fun.
tree that makes them all flying, basically.
Oh my god, they're climbing the tree.
Yeah, they climb over the tree, and so it was just I attack you with 47 squirrels. Because I had I think I had 2 different cards that's when you summon a squirrel, double it.
Yep.
And then I had that 2 times, so I was doubling every summoned squirrel twice,
Yep.
quadrupling.
It's a fave of mine. I
Yeah.
have that.
It was very funny. I felt really bad because Shelby was really excited to try her new. She got a 5-color deck, and I'm just like, I have a green black.
Phil, I'll play Magic with you because I like you, regardless of the game.
Aw, I like you too, Jacob.
I will not play Magic with everybody at the office.
not everybody. Yeah, I still think I like my Aristocrats deck better though. The cleric one.
Cleric one.
Yeah, I like my cleric one a lot more. Like
It's just fun to play.
it's just fun to play.
It's
It
not the
doesn't-
greatest deck, but it's fun.
I'd never win with it. I think I've won with it twice.
Yeah, my cleric deck, they're not built to win.
No.
They're just built to have some fun with it.
It's just fun. I like that's the only.
It's like
deck-
mono white. It's like any kind of those tribals are very tough to pull out in modern Commander or
Yeah.
any kind of deck format because you can get turned off really easy.
But but honestly, they're so like slow starting most of the time. At least in my experience with the one I have. I just get like in a 4-player Commander game, I just get left alone because I'm doing nothing.
He intentionally didn't put in the cards that allow you to get that much mana that much fast.
I was gonna say, wow, you just mana ramp that cleric deck and
Yeah.
it gets brutal.
Oh yeah, I didn't want to like be mean.
It's Magic.
I know, but
Yeah.
it was my first deck, and I was just like, no, I just want everyone to have fun, not realizing that not everyone else thought the same as me, and they were all like, oh.
Well, no, because the way we did it was completely abusive, right? Proxy decks around
dude.
the whole horn.
Oh, it was
Yeah, every
brutal.
deck in this building is
Every deck
like
is
the
like a
most
10
abusive deck you'd ever
Yeah.
play.
You're like, this deck would cost me $42,000, but I have it.
I think because Ruben made most of them, and I think when he made them, he didn't want to make them too good. But I was like, I already played the game at a base level, so why wouldn't I just make the best? Why wouldn't I just proxy the best thing possible? Because I already have cards to play regular Magic.
Yeah.
Why don't I make fake ones of the cards I'll never own?
Game delay. That's basically what happened. Shelby still plays, but like she was not happy. The next time she played, she did not play her 5-color deck.
Mhm.
She immediately went back to playing her green.
Elks.
Yeah,
Get elked.
Get elked. I forget the name of the card, but like you basically turn a target card into an elk, and she uses that all the time. We call it getting elked. It's very funny. She's very smart about when she uses it.
I am Mortal Kombat. I actually lost my Sliver deck like a year ago, and I found it a couple days ago.
Oh, cool.
I hate everyone, and I want them all to hate playing.
Who said that?
In Mortal Kombat.
Oh.
I am Mortal Kombat. I can't read. Just build group hug for Commander, and then you can decide who has fun when.
See, that's the thing. I don't like. I'm gonna play. You're gonna sit back and watch me play decks. So I
Yeah.
don't own any of those. I own ones that can kill you quick, but I like punching people in the face.
You like red decks.
I am a red deck wins.
You're
or
a red deck
white
player
weenie,
for
red
sure.
deck wins, green beasts, big dragons. Those are my favorite decks because
Yeah.
if you can get them to, you either win in the first few turns or you lose
or you just lose.
horribly.
Yeah, that's how I feel with the cleric deck. I
or
was
you
like,
lose horribly.
Yeah.
That's the way I like to play because I'm a draft guy.
Yeah.
So in draft, you the only way you can win draft consistently, and I've done this for years, is you got to draft evasion and fast chumps, and as much direct damage as you can get. But not every set has good direct damage, so
Yeah,
you
those
can't
are
rely
hard.
on that. But evasion and hasted 1/1s,
as many as you can get. Yeah, I mean that's
I'm
why.
drafting chump chaff stuff that nobody wants and winning in like super fast while everybody else is drafting
trying to
two
build,
colors
yeah.
and their ramp starts at like 5 cost cards. They
Yeah.
have this big bell curve where all their cards are in like 5 and up.
Yeah, you're already
and
halfway
my
through the
bell
health.
starts at the beginning. It's
Turn
like
one.
1 cost, and then I have like 1 5 cost. And if it ever sees the table, it's gonna be rad.
gonna be
but
crazy.
I never get to it.
When the game goes that long.
You play blue?
I don't want to play Magic, but I want you to play how I want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, blue's got good stuff too. Blue's got good evasion and birds and
A lot of a lot of
uncounterable and things like
birds.
that. I've played a lot of blue, but not counter blue, not sorcery and instant blue.
Yeah.
Like creature blue can be really good too. Usually not, but in draft, like blue is is pretty much plagued with all the creatures you would never use for anything other than draft. Of course, I stopped playing in a way that I paid attention to the cards way back. So
Combo decks, or I don't want it.
Me too, Potter.
I think that's why I like my cleric deck. Very combo reliant.
Oh my god, Popper EDH is so funny.
It's like Spork fight in the lunchroom.
It is. It's awesome.
I just like that analogy.
It brings the jank back into it that is lost when you play with expensive cards.
I played Ruben the other day. What's the format where you can only play with commons?
Popper.
That's Popper.
Popper. Oh, okay. There we go. That's what I played with Ruben the other day. I actually like that more. I was
Popper's
like,
super cool.
yeah, that was super fun.
He
I
has
like
a
that.
cube, a Popper cube. So you should stick around one Friday night. We should get him to bring his Popper cube and we draft.
I think he had it, and that's what we did. Well, we didn't draft, but he just handed me 60 cards or 50
Oh.
cards or whatever, and he's like, "Here, shuffle this and let's play." And I was like, "Okay."
He has Popper decks too.
Yeah, so that was fun.
Yeah, Popper draft is super cool. Just commons and
Yeah, that sounds fun.
go.
I haven't done a draft. You guys all did a draft the one day I had a date with Skylar.
Yeah, we've done a couple of them up here.
Yeah. I think I have a date every time you guys do.
Pokemon is actually in a very cheap spot right now,
Yeah, it is.
so it's pretty nice to get into at this moment, but it definitely fluctuates time to time.
It does. We're still here, Lumberjack. Jason's having fun. A Popper draft, that makes sense. That's what Game Delay said. I've never done it. I don't know what it's. I've never drafted. Period. I've never done any. I'm not a huge card game guy. I have Pokemon cards because I like collecting when I was a kid and still do, but I've never actually done drafts for any card game. I don't play a lot of card games. I got into Magic because everyone here was doing it,
All of his friends made him.
pretty much.
Peer pressure.
I was the only one.
I mean,
who
I
told
love
him not
I love
to.
game peer pressure because I like playing games as long as there's people to play with. As long as I have someone to play with, I'm like I'll play whatever.
Yeah.
Like
Like I said, it's the social part for me.
it's the
that
social
really-
part for me, 1000%. Like I like the games, don't get me wrong. It's like, but I don't like actively. I'm like, I'm gonna go play with strangers. It's like I want to play with my friends.
Yeah.
So what my friends are playing, I'm buying into, and I'm playing too. Even if it's just for like a month, which is 90% of the time. 90% of the time, it's
we
like
get in and out of games.
we get really excited about something. We all spend $500, and then we're done.
I like playing with strangers,
Don't talk to strangers, Jacob.
but you can make new friends.
It's true. Strangers have a lot of candy.
Strangers have a lot of candy. Says Phil from experience.
Okay, man, $20. He says cheap as I put in an order for 20,000 into a distributor. Woo! 20K. Cards or dollars? I don't care much about Pokemon. I was just getting too old when it would hit the US. Getting 20K worth of any card game feels like a yeah, honestly. I just like I love opening packs. I'm a sucker for like if games had like as many like I'm glad games don't have as many loot boxes as they used to. I had to like stop playing games that had loot boxes because I'd ride that high.
Yep.
That's how card packs are for me. I had to stop buying Pokemon for a while. I was spending so much money on Pokemon cards.
Sealed Pokemon will never not be expensive.
Yeah, that'll always be expensive. That-
Constructed like singles is very cheap.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what I found. I could build a deck
Yes.
a lot cheaper than going and hunting for the cards to build the deck.
Yeah.
Right? I learned that very fast.
Oh yeah, it's way cheaper. I like the opening the sealed packs thing. For me, that's fun.
That's what being a draft player breaks you of.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Because your whole life is cracking packs.
and you're like, I hate this.
Well, no, you don't hate it. You're just
Yeah.
like, I don't know why you would ever do more than do it in a position
In a
where you're
draft
going
setting.
to play with them.
Yeah.
Right? Because in draft, you're going to crack 3 packs, and
You
there would be
gotta play-
times
you
where I
gotta
would
play
crack a
with
$300 card. And you'd crack the $300 card, and you'd be like, I don't care what I draft. You know, because I just made $300.
Yeah, exactly.
You just, I mean, there were times where people get up from the table, right?
Like,
I,
all right, I
didn't
got
ever
what I
do that.
need.
I would play the game because you didn't want to break the
that's just not fun for everybody else.
yeah, you didn't want to break the table of 8. But you know, guys would get up and be like, "Give me my credit," and they'd jet. You know,
That's
crack
rough.
3 packs, make a few $100.
Yeah, Lorcana's really popular right now. I don't know if I can get into Mickey Mouse.
It really intrigues me zero.
Yeah, me and Jason I think very similar in like the.
Zero.
I walk by Paul when he's playing at lunch. I'm like, he's Pikachu. I
I
do the
love
same
that
thing
people.
to you
I
with
love that people
Digimon.
dig it. It's big here at the office right now with a few people. Nope. Doesn't even get my juices going a little bit.
I was more of a Cartoon Network kid growing up, so Disney just doesn't have the appeal. Oh, Gosu, everyone's entitled to their opinion. I grew up like I was born in the mid '90s or early '90s, and so like Pokemon hit the U.S. when I was 8, like 7, 8 years old. So I was just prime market for it. So it's more nostalgic for me
Yeah.
because that's just what I grew up on. Like the cards came out when I was a kid, the anime came out when I was a kid. So I just
See, and for
grew
me,
up with
until I kind of wanted to get William, my nephew, out socializing, right, instead of just sitting in front of his computer. All
Oh
the
yeah,
damn
that's
time.
right. You bought cards to play.
I bought it, but I had no idea what it was. I mean, I knew what it was,
but yeah,
I
you
didn't know.
you had never looked into it
Never
at
had
all.
looked into it. Never even was like, okay, Pokemon. What? I didn't care. But then I
that's
was like,
fine,
well, I
Gosu.
bet he had some Pokemon cards and he had never played. And I was like, let's take you to Funkatronic Rex and let's play this game, and I'll even go do it with you. So we bought decks and we
You had
sat
a blast,
and we played.
didn't you?
I'm the only one that played the game.
Oh, he didn't play?
No, I mean
Oh.
he played a little bit, but he was intimidated because he was playing against adults.
Yeah,
know.
that could be scary.
And as your first timer, it's just an uncomfortable position to be in learning that way when it's not amongst kids your own age and stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And of course, he has a mentality of wanting to be the best,
yeah, I
and
get
anytime
that.
you're playing card games, it's very difficult to come out of the gate strong because
can't.
you have an idea
There's-
that your cards are strong, and then you find out it's a combo game and none of your cards combo.
Yeah, you just picked
you
all
read
the
the face
big,
of the
strong-
card, you're like bitching. Oh yeah, bitching. Oh yeah, bitching. And you got this deck where all the cards are bitching, and then you try to play it,
And you're like,
you
oh,
get,
I can't.
You get your butt stomped.
Yeah.
And you're like, but I have the best cards. That's the way card games go for new players, right?
Yeah.
I love playing new people in card games.
You do a really good job teaching, though.
That's
You're a
why.
good
That's why
teacher,
I
yeah.
like.
Like
that's why I
Jacob
like
taught
it.
me how to play Digimon, and it was a great experience. Like
Jacob
he
is a
sat there.
good
I mean, he'd
teacher.
laugh at you when you do stupid stuff, but it made it fun. And he the whole time was teaching you.
Yeah,
you
Jacob's
want
a
to do
good
this and
teacher.
this and this, and you got to watch what I do. Now look at the things. Now read your card.
Yeah.
And
What
I'd
can
read
you
my
do?
card and be like,
Yeah.
oh, SOB, I could have done that. You know. So he didn't coddle you, and it was a good experience if that's the way you like to learn. So
Yeah. Yeah. Jacob is probably my favorite person to learn games from.
I like teaching in general.
I like
for
teaching.
Games.
Oh, I love teaching.
and we can now drink with Chair Guy. It's all sorts of fun.
Oh yeah.
I almost prefer teaching card games to playing them most of the time.
Well, you got your judges cert, right?
I am a judge for Digimon. Yeah. I actually got in an argument yesterday. One of my
Game Delay, you're correct.
one of my friends was like, "But all of these people have been telling me that it works this way," and I'm like, "Well,
Doesn't
do
matter.
Do you trust the 40 people or the judge?" And he's like, "Yeah, you're right."
Is that Evian? Evian? Living. That was probably an L. He uses trash minis.
I too would play with Microsoft Excel if the mechanics were fun.
Huh. Millimeter, I'd be interested in looking at that.
What's that?
How that play at Livion. It's a living card game of sorts that uses minis. I just proxy the minis with Reaper Bones, and the card game is super fun. It's like Magic, bring the opponent to 0, but adds a spatial element with minis. Great. Yeah, it'd be interesting. I'm the judge and I'm the law.
I actually do that at the store. It's super
Evian.
fun.
You have to.
It's
As a
Evian
judge-
with an I,
Oh, it's an I. Oh, okay.
and it's only spatial in terms of they're on a grid that's like a 9-square grid, and you
Gotcha.
can only move square to square like chess.
Gotcha. Okay.
And you do certain things based on being adjacent. So if you're getting hurt, you can run back. But because you can only move one, they catch up to you. So
yeah, there's no. Okay.
the movement component is very, very minimal.
Jank. Okay.
Yeah, it's very jank.
That's all right.
It's a neat one-on-one miniature game, though. I mean, you
Oh,
can put a
okay.
miniature. It's basically like if you played Magic, but you had to have a miniature of you as your caster.
Got it.
And you could only do certain attacks if you were adjacent.
Adjacent,
Other things
yeah,
have
yeah.
range
Oh,
and things
okay.
like that. It has
That's cool.
classes, like RPG element
Got it.
classes to it.
All right.
So it looks kind of neat.
It sounds neat. Like it'd be cool if someone took that and did it like better. Not that
Want
it's
to
bad.
play
I've never
Excel?
played
Get
it.
into BattleTech.
Bad
No, incorrect.
No, BattleTech is. you get-
BattleTech has one stat that you have to keep track of, which is heat, and it is very important.
Very important.
And it can be a nuisance for play because it is the tax man, right? It's like if you spend beyond your income, it's gonna hurt.
It's gonna hurt, but not right out the gate.
No, and it lets you
Lets you
kind
overspend a
of
little bit.
risk reward that a lot of games don't have. You want to push it, push it. You know, in a lot of games, your unit has a damage output that it's limited to. In BattleTech, if you need to alpha strike something and it's going to win you the game,
You do
push
it.
it.
Doesn't
Go
matter.
to full heat.
Doesn't matter.
Roll those dice because it's a good chance that you live. It's maybe a good chance you blow up, you know, but you can take that risk and get more firepower.
Avian said, "Going down this Marvel United rabbit hole. Thanks, Slowfuse." Again, I hope that's is it a passive aggressive thanks or are you genuinely thankful?
Oh no, they love me.
I know. I'm teasing you.
Oh, they love it when I blow their wallets up
Yeah,
with new
exactly.
cool models. I love these. Literally these. They're so fun to paint. Number one,
They
So-
look great to paint. I want to paint one. I love.
I cannot
Slowfuse.
speak to the game. So if you're buying it for the game, ask around and
Ask
chat.
Gabe.
Maybe somebody else has played it. We have not, or at least I have not.
Has Gabe played it yet?
I don't think so.
Oh,
I don't know if he.
I think he
feel
wants.
like he read the rules, but I don't remember either.
I think he was really into Massive Darkness,
Yeah,
and so that's what took.
yeah. Massive
that's-
Darkness hit,
that-
and that's kind of what's eating Gabe's brain.
That's what grabbed our attention right away.
I love Bold Pyro Red.
It's so good. Bolt Power. We already talked about this, but it's like
It's ridiculous.
it's a top 3 color for me. I mean, apparently everybody else too. I think it's a top 3 seller for us.
Oh yeah.
I
I mean, it's white, black, red.
It's white, black, red. It's literally in that order.
White, black, red. They're our top 3 sellers, and then it's like goes jade, royal purple.
Well, the washes are pretty high right now.
Yep.
The washes, I think, are sitting typically on like the 3, 4, 5.
Yeah,
or 4,
people
5,
have figured
6
out
spot.
that our washes work better.
Yeah,
A lot of people were like, "Oh, they don't work like my Citadel." I was like, "They're not supposed
they're not supposed to.
to."
It's not a shade. I mean, it can't be. But there's so many Marvel United sets. It's fantastic, and every version of the game plays together with the others.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, they have the in the X-Men ones, they've got like the Sentinels. They've
Yeah,
got the Sentinels. I thought
Sentinels
about
are-
painting the Sentinels and what's her nuts, Charles Xavier's sister.
Oh, I forget. They dry matte and they don't stain as badly. Exactly. T-Schmidt. Does T-Schmidt Snore have Marvel United? Sorcery is awesome. It's magic with a spatial element. It's so good. Also, casual kitchen table. It's like a beer and pretzels game. Only one set a year. Lots of very thematic top-down type design.
Yeah. Everybody talks
Sorcery?
really well about Sorcery.
Yeah, I've heard a lot about it.
And that's they were telling us yesterday or the day before that's the guy that, what game did he make that we were making fun of?
Oh, geez. I remember. I mean, I don't remember, but I remember that conversation.
He made another game, like a video game or something, and made a lot of money off of it. And that's,
Path
people
of
were like,
Exile?
I don't care about his game. He made enough money off of it to make Sorcery, and it's great. Path of Exile, yeah.
Bold Power Red is literally what sold me on you guys. I used it at Adepticon last year, and shortly thereafter, paid a visit to your booth and bought some paints.
That's awesome.
That's great.
Millimeter, that's awesome.
Well, you probably met it. Oh, I mean, I was obviously
yeah,
there.
you probably met us. One or
I was
more of us.
there. That was Jordan's first day of work.
Jacob was there.
Jacob was there. That's right. You were at Adepticon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was so funny. I had met Jordan before, but Jordan's first day of work was showing up for it. He flew into Adepticon.
Yep.
And that was like day one. So that was a great way to get to like. For me, it was great because we also roomed together at Adepticon. So like for me, it was like I got the full Jordan experience.
Crash course
like,
in Jordan.
Yeah, it was great. I loved it. I was just like, oh, this is such a fun way to like meet a new coworker. Granted, it helps that Jordan's like an awesome dude.
Yeah, Jordan's really good.
Yeah,
Easy to get along with.
very easy to get along with.
Big teddy bear kind of.
Yeah, there was one night we stayed up talking about like Games Workshop in a general sense, and just like the games that we've played and like where we see them going in the future to like 2 a.m. It was just fun. It was a fun trip. Jordan's great. Red Gray was the first paint I used that I thought I love this. I would never have mixed it myself. That's game delay.
Red Gray.
Red Gray.
Red Gray's awesome.
Yeah. That's fairly recent. in the last year.
Yep, it's in the John and Vince.
It's in, yeah, it's like that's Nina's. JP says the reason I went to Miami Hobbies is the fact that Jason is amazing and used to paint robots. Man, we've come full circle. Cassandra Nova. She started in.
Yeah, it's at Cassandra Nova.
Yep, there it is. Thank you.
It was like the twin that got eaten.
In the womb.
Yeah.
Oh.
Xavier, like, I think killed her in the womb.
Like intentionally?
Yeah, I think they fought in the womb. Somebody could tell. There's been I think some changes with the whole Cassandra Nova or but what I remember is that they had like the mental war in the womb and Xavier absorbed her or something like that.
Yeah.
But then her psyche at
Possessed
some
another
point in
body.
time exited Xavier and into the real world. And that was one of the best freaking X-Men series. It had oh gosh, who wrote that? Trying to remember.
I was never huge on comics growing up. I still really am not. Not like no authors or anything. I know House of M, but who doesn't?
Schmidt, it's okay. We can make up for it now.
Yes. Next, are you going to Adepticon?
I don't know.
Actually, I don't know. Yeah. I want to go to like. I'm trying to convince like some of my friends to come to Adepticon. Like the friends that remain that don't work here. I'm trying to convince some of my friends to come to Adepticon. So after working the booth, we can just.
He doesn't
like,
have to hang
out.
with us.
What?
Basically. So he doesn't have to hang out with us.
No,
Fine.
I mean, what do I normally do at shows? As soon as the booth's done, I go to sleep.
Yeah.
So it's not like I like go and hang out with a bunch of random people.
When I went to Adepticon, it was basically the booth was over, and then me and Jordan played card games for 5 hours.
Yeah, Jordan.
Oh, you guys did that one night. It was crazy.
Oh, it was like
Every night.
It was every night that he wasn't doing something else.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
Yeah, and every night you didn't have him going to a dinner. He was playing cards with Jacob.
Oh, yeah.
Late. I was like, I would
I was
wake
at
up.
dinners every damn night, so except for that one. We played cards one night.
Yeah. I still cannot stop dreaming about the dinners we had in Indianapolis.
Oh,
At
Gen
Gen
Con
Con.
was good.
It wasn't. We did. All of them were winter. That Italian place haunts my memory still.
That was super good.
That
Italian.
Italian place was so good. I mean, the
Little hole in
Gambananas,
the wall.
obviously, we've talked that to death, but I think my next favorite was that Italian place.
Yeah, the empanadas win.
Eat out easily. I'll give you all the best knee hugs. All right, JP. We'll be there. You get to meet Jabe. Jabe will be there. I'm assuming.
What's that? Gabe?
Gabe, yeah, Jabe will be at Adepticon. right?
Gabe, Jordan, you. I don't think we filled the rest of the roster.
We haven't yet. I know us three are going. That's why it was. I'll be at LVO too. Dude, I love Adepticon. I like going to all the shows. I'd go to every show if I could. Adepticon is definitely my favorite though. I don't know if it's because it was the first show I ever went to or just because of what it is.
It's just such a good show for what we do.
It's for what we do.
The
The people
world
there
we-
are always so nice.
Yeah.
Like everyone there like loves what. Maybe that is because it's just the way the show is focused and what it's focused on. Like we just got a lot of like-minded people. So just like everyone's so.
the
fun.
community's really good, and it's
Community.
focused on miniature wargaming
Yeah.
and painting.
Yeah,
right?
it's kind of the
As opposed to some of the other shows have got really good
Gen Con,
quality
I
people
actually
and
had a
all that
lot of
all the
fun.
time. But like Gen Con's not about miniature painting.
It's not, but I loved how many people we had interested in it.
Oh yeah.
Like I think that it's so different in that it was like Adepticon you go to, everyone there knows what mini like for the most part.
That's why they're
like,
there.
That's why they're there. They it's the mini painting, it's the wargaming, it's that. And then Gen Con was just so many new people or people that paint other things but have never done miniatures, and so we got to talk to them about that. And like having Jordan there painting is such a like amazing thing to do. 90% of the time, like if someone was like, I don't know, I was like, just go try the paint with Jordan, and then I'd see him standing next to Jason checking out. It was great. You're not allowed in Vegas anymore? What'd you do?
Who's that?
JP. I'll have to play D&D all night? Oh, no. I can't read. I'll have to play D&D. Good night. Good night.
Good night, game delay.
Dude, I am
Take it easy, game delay.
on a struggle bus today, apparently. Yeah, Gen Con is gigantic. Y'all are going late tonight. How late you planning on going, Jason?
Oh, until I get this red done, I think.
They get the red done?
I don't have much more. I'm just kind of filling. I say red done. When I'm done with Pyro Red,
When he's
I
done
won't be
with
done with a red,
the
but I'll
current
be
shade
done
of
with
red
Pyro
he's doing.
Red.
Starting to pop. It looks great.
Yeah, it's really what I'm trying to get it is just to get all the colors up to a level where I've got some good dynamic value on it, and then
Yeah.
we'll go in and finish the blue. Because the blue right now is all airbrushed. But you
Yeah,
can
oh,
tell
really?
how, like, I haven't done any brushwork on the blue, but you can see how doing all the brushwork on everything around the blue makes
Making
the
the-
blue look less airbrushed.
Yep, it does.
But it doesn't have any brushwork done on it yet, and I'll go in and be able to decide how I want to punch the shadows down and the value on the highlights up and do the edge highlighting and stuff, but not a lot of
Yeah.
work needed. Yeah, and then I gotta finish the white.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll have to finish everything. Nothing's done.
Yeah.
I'm
It's all
determining
getting
whether
there.
or not I want to do like a wash or a glaze over the brown leather. I
Mhm.
really like it the way it is.
I like it the way it is.
So I might leave it that kind of, buckskin
That's my vote.
almost.
Who's your favorite employee that can't read, and why is it Phil? It is me.
Well,
I can read. It just takes a couple tries.
that's what I was gonna say. My favorite employee that can't read is not Phil because Phil can read, just not.
Just poorly.
Yeah. My favorite employee that can't read is Paul.
I was gonna say Paul. It's gotta be Paul.
It's Paul. Sweet, sweet Paul. Old Paulie.
Paul's hilarious.
Paul is so funny. I'm convinced he does everything he does is intentional.
Oh yeah.
100%.
Oh
Has
yeah,
to
it
be.
is.
100%
It well, not all of it, but
no, I'm
more
convinced.
than
I'm convinced it's all of it.
not more than you think is intentional.
Well, more than he would
I-
have you know.
I
right?
know because
Yeah.
I do the same thing.
Yeah.
Not all, but there are some things that are unintentional.
Oh, Paul is so funny.
That's what puts the randomness in it.
Exactly. You can never tell. I'm just like mesmerized watching Jason paint.
The red's really making the model come alive.
It is.
The blue needs a lot more saturation, but this red really pumped the model up.
It'd be fun, like for like thumbnails on the VOD. I know Gabe already does all thumbnails on the VODs and stuff that we put. It'd be super cool if like we did like a before and after picture at the beginning of the stream and end of stream
Oh yeah.
for each miniature. It's like you just like hold it for a second and then at the end you do the same thing. So
Yeah.
Gabe could use that at the beginning and end.
Like do
like,
a
just to see the difference in that one stream. It's like, hey, in 2 hours, here's what we got done. Or I guess in this instance, we're sitting at 3, but you know what I mean.
yeah.
Like I'm sure sometimes it'd be like no, wouldn't look different at all, especially when you're doing all your finishing work.
Still kept a lot of my green glow,
Yeah,
but it's not really evident from here, which is nice. I like it.
I love it. Gotta say it, Jacob. Say the line.
I'm
I'm sorry, I wasn't
each
listening.
session. What are we talking about, Fireark?
What are we talking about? Oh, I think he's talking about D&D. He's talking to Game Delay.
Oh,
Because he's
he
Delay
says
left,
game as in name. He just called him game.
He's
Game
called-
get
yeah,
killed
yeah, yeah.
nearly each session.
He left. Game Delay left to play D&D. Thank you, Millimeter.
Millimeter Matt, you want what?
You said I like it. I said I love it, and I asked Jacob to say the line, and he said he wasn't listening.
I'm
so,
sorry.
So Millimeter Matt is filling in for us.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
He wants some more of it.
Alrighty. Tomorrow we got Gabe painting with us.
Oh, he is.
That'll be fun.
Fun's a
It's-
word.
It's Friday. with Gabe painting, Jen producing, and then next week we got. Did you not sign up to do any days?
Well, the one day that Gabe said was available, I might be out of town, so I didn't want to commit if I'm not going to be here.
When are you leaving?
Well, it'd just be a day trip to Flagstaff, so
Oh.
probably be like I'd leave in the morning and I'd come home at night on
You
Wednesday.
could do like a Tuesday or Thursday or whatever you want.
Yeah, I'd love to.
Yeah.
Gabe just said the only days available were Wednesday
I only
or
told
Friday.
him Wednesdays, Fridays.
Okay.
I said I wanted to do like Tuesdays, Thursdays on my
Yeah.
own, but I don't care.
Yeah, I'd love to come in Tuesday or Thursday.
All right, cool, yeah.
I'll ping you. We'll
Yeah.
figure it out. 'Cause, I mean, I got all these. I brought one over here. I got all these flesh eater quartz models I need to start.
It would be fun. Let's do that.
Sweet. I'll let you know. I gotta figure out what the rest of my week looks like. It's kind of
Game delay is not really living up to his name if he already left for the game. Good catch.
Good catch.
Good
Maybe he
catch.
was already late and he didn't
Game
tell us.
delay, liar.
Liar.
Turns out, liar. He's not
who's your
delaying any
favorite liar?
games. He's actually early. So, gang, thank you so much for hanging out with us. If you arrived here on one of the raids or you just found us snooping around the internet, please hit that follow button. We are Monument Hobbies. We make all of these wonderful paints you've seen me paint Mini Cap with. So,
Mini
the
Cap.
latest being Bold Pyro Red. It will change your life. It is life-changing. So,
Changed my life.
make sure... Oh, I got to do all the links, don't I?
Yeah, I can't do it.
Dadgummit. I'm about to put links in here. One of them's for the store, that one. One of them is for FLGS's, that one. If you click one of those two links, you can find out where to buy all of our awesome stuff.
Yes.
Thank you all so much for the support. We have a network of hundreds and hundreds of retailers across the globe that carry our stuff, so you can hopefully find somebody close to you. If you cannot, go direct to our store. You can find it there. And then this place is really cool for socializing.
We love
You come
the
hang
social-
out, talk to us on our Discord, 24 hours a day, over 3,300, I think.
Yeah, we're over that
Wonderful
now.
hobbyists like you guys out there. Some great inspiration and fun stuff there. And then last but not least, you can go here to our YouTube, where all of the videos get stacked up after we do them on here, and all of our shorts and commercials and special made content. You can find all sorts of stuff over there on the YouTubes. So if you missed a little bit of stream, you want to catch up, find something that we were doing in the painting, just hang out and have our sultry voices in your ear as you go to sleep. Then you can go over to YouTube and catch all that. We'd love to see you back here. We stream 5 days a week from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Arizona Mountain Standard Time here in the U.S. We do that Monday through Friday, like I said. We'd love to see you back. So stick around. We're going to find somebody to raid. And I promise I'll raid somebody who's painting. Yesterday I stuck everybody with one of our monumentals, but he was playing Escape from Tarkov. And I was like, I always hate when I do that. So stick around. I swear to God, I'll find somebody
We'll do
painting and
painting.
we'll do it. So show some love in the chat we wind up in, and we will catch you on the flip side. Have a wonderful evening. We're out of here, gang.
Bye.